everybody. Welcome to episode 35 of the Intermission podcast, the show where two film graduates discuss classic, iconic, and obscure films from times gone by. We're your hosts, Oscar W. Fitchett.
And Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods is hosting this one.
Audio only listeners, you just need to go YouTube to find out.
Yeah, you missed out on the joke. I'll try and do a funny background. I'm Robbie Tweedo, by the way. I try to do a funny background every week.
Wait, so you're not Tiger Woods?
No, I'm not Tiger Woods. Sorry. I've never done golf, actually. I was going to say I'm terrible at golf, but I've never tried. I could be fucking incredible. And I'd never know. Oh, this is the one where I'm not swearing, isn't it?
Okay, yeah. That was my first point in the notes. This is my first point in the notes. We are going to try to make this a clean episode of the Intermission podcast, and by try I mean we're going to do it. My mum gave us a challenge for at least this one thing because she's seen this film, so she's like, I don't even know her opinions on it. I don't even know if she likes it. I just know she's seen it. It's never been a film she's mentioned to me one at all. Yeah. So, but she said she's seen it, so she gave us the challenge not to swear. So
we can do this.
There we go. Yes,
definitely going to be able to do this.
I feel like we at least need to try this. Like just generally, I feel like I need to especially because obviously we discovered in the Philadelphia Story episode that we ended up swearing when we really were trying not to. But what we discovered was when we're just chatting. It just
comes out, yeah. It just
because as two mates, it just happens. Sometimes it's just in our vocabulary. But I'm trying to think of myself, right? If I want any sort of job in presenting,
so probably
I at least want an example of here's it clean. Here's my presenting skills when I'm not swearing.
Yeah.
So that's one point that I want to say there. The other point that I want to bring up. Is this, Robbie, is the Team Oscar, Team Robbie thing.
Oh, Christ, yeah. I've still got the list.
It hasn't changed since, obviously, yeah. We're gonna end up busting out the poll, busting up another poll soon, and then we'll revisit it by the end of the episode. I was on a night out with one Tyler and Angus, and also Ellie Cutmore.
I really liked two of those people. you figure out which is which. People in that group.
To which there was one point when I found myself sat next to Tyler, outside of Out. And to which I went, Tyler, I've got a question for you. And he went, oh, okay. And he went, this could be one or two questions. And I asked him.
Oh, God.
And first of all, I asked him the question. He went, well, that's not the question I thought. That's not any of the questions I thought you would have asked. But the question I did ask him was, why are you Team Robbie and not Team Oscar?
Oh.
To which I asked this, and he went, right, okay, so, because Robbie is cooler. And then I took great offense to this, and to which I was then next to Angus. I was like, did you hear this? Tyler said that Robbie's cooler than me. To which Angus was absolutely flabbergasted by that statement, and then to which then Tyler went, "Hang on, let me explain what I mean by that." So it's not the.
I want to hear this explanation.
It's not the fact of he just stopped at Robbie's cool and you, Oscar. That's why.
Yeah.
But he just went, "Let me explain." As an editor and as someone who wants to learn After Effects, just Robbie's cooler in that regard.
Hell yeah.
But he basically went, no, let me explain. He's cooler at you because he can do computers more than you.
That's the complete opposite of being cooler. Can I just to make that very clear? Because I know stuff about computers is the complete opposite of me being cooler than someone.
But that was my literal thought. I was like, what's he gonna say? He could, again, in my head, he could have went, he's got a better fashion style than you. He's funnier than you. He could have said any of that in terms of a response to being, he's cooler than you because this. He went, no, he's cooler than you because he can do hologram effects on After Effects. is what Tyler said to me. So
God.
So what Tyler is in Team Robbie for the reason of he basically wants to
because he thinks I'm a good editor.
He wants to leech off you basically with your editing skills.
You're not gonna, Tyler. All right. I'm not doing anything for you. Well, actually, Leo's asked me to do some VFX for his FMP.
Right.
If he goes into production or whatever, but yeah. God, yeah. I
I
mean,
think he's getting Angus on board to do some sort of
Oh,
effects
really?
as well. Yeah, some props
Yeah.
and things. And I know he wants Connor. I know nothing really about the film, but that's what I know.
Yeah, it's a I don't know if you want me to say it's like a horror comedy
No,
thing, but
I know that
Yeah.
much. That's yeah,
Yeah.
which is
cool.
interesting, interesting,
Yeah.
interesting.
But yeah. Oh, I found out. I think I can say stuff about what I was alluding to last episode.
Go on. Yeah. That's right.
Yeah, I got a job. I don't know. I don't know if I would because thank you very much. Last week I didn't know if I was allowed to say anything, but I've signed all my contracts and I've signed my NDAs and stuff. I can't. I've just been employed by ITV. I'm working on Emmerdale.
Yeah.
And that's all I can say. I've signed so many NDAs. There's like pages on pages in my contract of being like, sign this, which means that you're not allowed to say anything about anything.
Yes.
But yeah, so I've just started my new job, and that's if it seems like I'm both simultaneously happy and out of it. It's because I'm very excited about having a new job, but I'm also incredibly tired. I'm so goddamn tired.
Exactly how professional filming should be, realistically.
Yeah, just being knackered all the time. But it's good. I'm enjoying it a lot.
Yeah, nice one, man. Nice one. And before I forget, smack the.
Oh,
give us a smile, Robbie. There you go. I'm just going to put up the new poll.
Oh, you're putting the new poll up?
Yes.
Nice. Is it who's cooler, Robbie or Oscar?
No, it's not who's cooler, because that's not what it is.
I could ring Tyler and ask and say thank you to him.
I mean, you could. Let's see if he answers.
Let's go because we can cut this out if he doesn't.
Oh yeah. We'll
right. Let's get him in. But he was active 9 minutes ago on Snapchat. He's always on fucking Snapchat. So.
Oh, swearing.
Oh, sorry. Can you hear this? Is this coming out? Hiya, Tyler. You right, babe?
Hey.
Yeah, just recording an intermission, lad. just wanted to say thanks for you saying that I'm cooler than Oscar.
Oh, yeah.
I'll say that every day of the goddamn week.
Nice. You're welcome.
Oh, thanks, man. Anyway, yeah, that's it from me.
Okay. Bye, Robbie.
All right, love you.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.
Oh dear, he's definitely downstairs in the oak right there.
Yeah, he is. Everyone could hear me. I was here. I heard a few voices. I think I heard Angus. I think I heard Kate.
I definitely heard Angus. All I'm saying, I definitely heard Angus.
Because with the headphones on, I could barely hear what he was saying then. So I'll listen to this back and see what he said. I ain't got a clue.
He just kind of went like, oh, all right, yeah, nice. And that was it, really.
Sounds like Tyler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, and I will officially share the poll now. And now I've tagged us in it as well, so we can share that poll on our own Instagrams.
Let's go.
While we're doing all this nonsense, again, you might be wondering, why are you even like, what's the point of all of this? It's a bit of fun, innit? It's
a bit of a laugh,
here we
innit?
go. There we go. It's
there we
officially been.
Once again, what team are you? You are Team Robbie.
And I am Team Oscar, because duh.
I was going to say, can we vote ourselves? I'm putting.
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. Well, I'm voting Team Robbie. Hell yeah. I've already added it to my story, you melon. So I'm trying to do it again. Go away. Right, okay. Excellent.
Right. And all this tribalism out the way with.
Yes. What are we talking about this week? Oh, wise one.
I want to give a little bit of a little Bethany update. Hang on a minute.
Oh, hell yeah. Okay.
Just right before, I want to give a bit of mention for a few things, because one, this is the first time. One, we're on IMDb.
Yes.
Bethany's on IMDb, and also just all my films. So now Robbie is now an IMDb credited actor and editor and sound department.
You better believe it. It's a very varied IMDb page, it must be said.
Because it makes me also laugh that Joseph Caslin is created actor and now also sound department.
Sound department on all right. Yeah. Yeah, I was very excited about that, actually, that I finally had an IMDb page.
Yeah, exactly, man. So there's that. And also, I got LaBethany on Letterboxd as well.
Yes.
So what I'll say is like give it all the ratings if you can, give it all the stars. I questioned Gary when we were around Lewis's last time. I was like,
Yeah.
why'd you give Love Bethany only 4 stars, Gary? And and then Lewis was like, yeah, what's wrong with it? And then like Gary went like, there's nothing wrong with it. I went, there was not a perfect 5, Gary.
Christ.
And he was like, I need to watch it again. I was like, okay, that's fair, Gary, fair.
Unbelievable.
But also with Love Bethany is we are officially been nominated at the Tees Valley International Film Festival for Best Horror Film. So
Yes.
that'll be screened, I know, Wednesday the 26th of October at 12 p.m. when the horror films are getting screened, and then it will be the winner of that will be announced on the Friday 29th of October at Stockton Arc. So it's just come full circle.
Excellent stuff.
So yeah,
Great.
well excited. I don't know who's joining me yet. I'm gonna try and get Joe, but
Oh, hell yeah.
we'll see.
Oh,
But yeah.
That sounds great. Can anybody come to that, or do you have to have a film nominated in it?
You could probably come to that.
I was
I'll
gonna
let you.
say.
I'll let you know if for the closing ceremony you can. Yeah, you'll be able to.
Yeah. Hell yeah. So I'll put.
Yeah.
Did you see my review of Love Bethany?
Yes, I did. Yes.
Yeah. 5 stars. Not too bad. Would have preferred it in color, and if it was about 2 aliens falling in love.
Nice quality. And
Excellent
then,
stuff.
And then Lewis's review I liked a lot as well.
Oh, I didn't see Lewis's. What was that?
This film made me forget color.
That's good stuff.
Which
Okay.
I remember he said this is the only interaction him and Fletch have ever had was they were just out like in Arc when we were all like after all the films had screened, and this is the very first time he's met Fletch, and he went like, I'm not used to you in colour.
Yeah, this is weird. Weird to see your skin tone.
You're in colour, what? I think I remember there was also another point where like Lewis saw like a picture of just the house that was filmed, and he went like, is that the house where you filmed? I went, yeah. He went, do you know why? I've never seen it in colour, so I've never
That's
known
so
what it's looked like.
God damn it.
But yeah, so Love Bethany's looking good. I'm excited for the Tees Valley International Film Festival.
Nice.
Fingers crossed, but the fact it's nominated is
Yeah, it's
really
awesome.
cool.
Man. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, Robbie.
That's all right.
And also DIY is there under the Best Student Film category as well. So
Excellent.
excited,
Oh, yeah.
excited.
Another school
So-
about
so-
representing.
Exactly. I
Very
think
good.
a first year's one of the Cigar music videos that the first years did also got selected in that festival
Oh,
as
cool.
well.
Nice.
So it's a good
Yeah.
it's a good thing. Oh, Tyler wants to message the Intermission podcast.
Oh no. What's he saying? What's he saying?
Hang on. Teen Robbie forever.
Yeah.
All right, it's going to become gang warfare. And I'm telling you now, it's going to be just absolute shambles.
I am a big fan of that. Cheers, Ty. Love
But
you.
should we get into
Hell yeah.
this week's film discussion, Robbie?
Yeah, let's do it.
And this week we are discussing in anticipation for the Marilyn Monroe film coming out this
Yes.
week on Netflix. At the time of recording this, I haven't seen Blonde yet. Just want to say,
Nice.
but by the I can't say that on this. I can't say that on a non-swearing podcast. God damn it! I'll get to all of this in a bit in the
Okay.
intermission section. But but I haven't seen Blonde yet.
Yeah.
By the time the episode's out, I would have done. But
Mhm.
but this is why we're talking about this film, and the film that we are talking about this week is the 1955 romantic comedy, The 7-Year Itch. The film is directed by Billy Wilder, written by Billy Wilder and George Axelrod. It's based on the play written by George Axelrod of the same name. And the film stars Marilyn Monroe, Tom Ewell, Evelyn Keyes, Sonny Tufts, Robert Strauss, Oscar Homolaka, Marguerite Chapman, Victor Moore, and Roseanne. That is how this person's credited. And
Excellent.
the plot synopsis of the 7-Year Itch, according to IMDb, is when his family goes away for the summer, a hitherto faithful husband with an overactive imagination is tempted by a beautiful neighbor. Accolades the film holds. It has an 84% on the tomato meter and an audience score of 76% on Rotten Tomatoes. Holds a score of 7.1 out of 10 on IMDb and 3.4 out of 5 stars on Letterboxd. Other accolades that it holds: it was nominated for one Writers Guild of America award for Best Written American Comedy for Billy Wilder and George Axelrod. It was nominated for one Directors Guild of America award for Outstanding Directorial Achievement in Motion Pictures for Billy Wilder. It was nominated and won one Golden Globe for Best Actor in a Musical or Comedy for Tom Ewell. And it was also nominated for one BAFTA award for Best Foreign Actress for Marilyn Monroe. So, 7 Year Itch. This is the first time I've seen this film. This is the very first time, and I knew nothing about this. This is the first in the sense of like both of us had never seen this film, and both of us knew nothing. At least, when we talked about The Deer Hunter, that was an example of a film that neither of us had seen before watching it for this podcast. Yeah. I at least knew it was a Vietnam War film.
Yeah.
I at least knew that. With this film, I knew this was the film of Marilyn Monroe in the dress. That is how I knew of this film. And in terms of other thoughts of this film, obviously I'm a big Billy Wilder fan. You can go to our Some Like It Hot episode, another Billy Wilder film with Marilyn Monroe in it. I talked loads about how I'm a big Billy Wilder fan. I love The Apartment, Some Like It Hot, Double Indemnity, etc., etc., etc. Love Billy Wilder. I think he is one of the best directors and also just one of the best screenwriters ever. So I was interested in this film in terms of, what can this be? It's another Marilyn Monroe, Billy Wilder film, blah. Yeah, Robbie, what is your relationship with this film?
I again knew nothing about this. I wouldn't have even known it was the dress one if you hadn't said last week. I would have had no idea. Turns out it's about dude cheating on his wife.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
So yeah, I didn't know anything about this. I had never even heard of this film before you wrote it down on a piece of paper and sent me a photo of said piece of paper. So I would never have known. Can I for my initial point on this? 'Cause I want to get this out of the way.
Yes.
I made some notes, right? But
Go
I'd like to preface the notes because I'm gonna rattle through them. Because right, so here's the context for the notes: is that I've watched this film in 2 parts. So I watched the first half an hour last night, at 11 o'clock, and here's the thing of prefacing the fact that I have a job now and stuff is the fact that I've been up at 5 a.m. all week, right? So when it gets to 11 o'clock, my brain is just not working, right? So I'm just gonna rattle through some of these.
Go for it.
First note, I've got 6 in total, so we won't linger on them. Mr. Sherman equals nonce ? Next, I wish everyone was naked. Next, next, it's not better for you. Don't know what that was in relation to. Next, right then, a wank, I think. Next, I've never seen a psychopath so down bad in my life. Next, and next they instantly take the nurse away. So I'm gonna make guesses at what I was on about. The Mr. Sherman equals nonce. I think is in relation to the bit at the beginning where he's redesigning a cover for Little Women, and he's saying he wants them to have scoop necks to show off the breasts or whatever. That book's about teenagers. Don't do that. The next one, the I wish everyone was naked part. I think that's in regards to that weird diner lady that comes up to him and serves him for his food.
Oh, right.
And then goes
hang on a minute.
Nobody should wear clothes ever.
Hang on a minute. I've got a phone call coming in here. Hang on a minute.
Oh.
I'll put it on speaker.
Who the hell is this?
Hello. Who is this?
Hey, Oscar, it's your best friend Martin Scorsese. Forget about it.
Oh my God! This is actually Martin Scorsese, is it?
Yeah, forget about it.
Oh, Marty. Can I call you Marty?
Forget about it.
Okay, right. I just want to Can I ask you? I'm currently recording the Intermission podcast. Are you familiar with this?
I'm Team Robbie. I love the
You,
Intermission.
oh, okay. Well, that wasn't the question I was going to ask you, Marty. But we're currently talking about. Can I just get your opinions on the film that we're currently talking about? We're talking about The 7-Year Itch. Are you familiar with it?
I'm familiar with it.
Hello, Marty?
I think The 7-Year Itch is a wonderful situational comedy where a delusional husband with an overactive imagination struggles to resist his desires while his wife and child are away in the summer.
Marty, are you just reading the wiki there?
He can't hear you, Robbie.
Oh God.
Robbie asked you. You just reading the wiki there.
Forget about it.
Okay, cool. How do you feel like this film compares with Billy Wilder's other work?
Forget about it.
And what about Marilyn Monroe's performance in this film? What's your opinion on that, Marty?
Don't forget about it.
Don't forget about it. So you're a fan.
Yeah.
You're a fan of it. Okay, good. So, and one last question, Marty, before because I suspect you're really busy with the upcoming film you got with Leonardo DiCaprio. How is Leo, by the way?
If his girlfriend's over the age of 25, forget about it.
Okay, yeah, nice one.
Yeah, put him on the phone, Marty.
And so would you class The 7-Year Itch as cinema?
Don't forget about it. Cinema.
I'm not quite sure if that means that you think this is cinema or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. This 7-Year Itch is cinema. Well, thank you, Mike. Do you have any other thing to say?
Nah.
Nah. Well, thank you very much, Mike. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you on the Intermission podcast. Wow. Yep. Thank you very much, Marty. I'll let you get back to doing your thing.
Right. I'll tell Leo you said hi.
Oh, thank you very much. Bye-bye, Marty.
Please, can that be a recurring segment on the show?
Hey, if Martin Scorsese calls me back, it will.
That's fantastic. I loved him in Shark Tale.
Right, so yeah, you want them all naked? Is that what you said?
Yeah, so the I wish everyone was naked. No, I think was in regards to that weird diner lady that's talking to him and serving him properly, and then is all of a sudden like everyone should be naked all the time and there'd be no war.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So I don't know what that was about. The it's not better for you part. I don't know what that was about. Probably cigarettes or something. There's a lot of talk of cigarettes in this. The right then a wank, I think, was I think that's in because there's a clip of in like an old in one of the Alan Partridge TV series where he's left alone in a hotel room and he just kind of claps his hands together and goes right then a wank, I think, which I think is what I was on about in regards to when the first time he gets home. I think it just reminded me of that apparently.
Right.
I've never seen a psychopath more down bad. I think that that speaks for itself, doesn't it?
I don't think that needs explaining.
That's this entire movie. And they instantly take the nurse away. I think is in regards to the fact that seemingly an entire hospital staff walks in on him and a nurse kissing, and their instant thought is to get the nurse away, as if it will have been her fault. Straight away, they're like, "It must be her. It cannot be the guy." Anyway, I think that was my miscellaneous notes from being sleep deprived. Right. The rest of this I'm going to do off the cuff. But overall, I'll do my overall thought.
Yes, and then I'll say my overall after you.
So I'm gonna I think this is going to be a rather hot take, and I think I'm going to be quite controversial here.
We'll see.
So I apologize to anyone who gets upset about this, namely Julia. I imagine we'll get upset about this.
Does she like this film?
No, but she loves Some Like It Hot.
Yeah,
this
but, okay, say your point.
This to me is infinitely funnier than Some Like It Hot. I loved this, and I cannot explain why. I cannot explain why I liked this so much, but I found this hilarious. This was so funny.
Right. I'll say my bit.
Okay.
Jesus Christ. Right. I was going to run with this and be like, so Robbie, I now
Yeah.
finally understand how you feel about when you watched the Philadelphia Story. I hated this film, Robbie. I really, this film sucks so hard.
I really liked
Oh
this.
my God.
I found the characters were very funny and endearing. Do you know what it was? It did. I think
Endearing. You're looking at
Yes.
this guy. It's like, oh, bless him.
No, not bless him. He's a terrible bloke. He's obviously an awful person. That's not, but he's funny, and I appreciate it for that. I think it's hilarious to me that I would say about 70% of this movie is a guy imagining cheating on his wife and then going, not me though, and then inevitably cheating on his wife, and that's the movie.
That's the film.
It's hilarious. I thought it was like it genuinely felt after a while. I was like, this is like an hour and 40-minute long, stretched out version of an episode of Frasier. It's exactly what this felt like, because it all took place in like one room and was just random escapades going on.
Can you tell this was based off a play?
Yes.
Can you tell?
Yes, you can.
It was more a play than it was a film.
I was gonna say, so I imagine they didn't change the script for this at all.
Oh, I can imagine they just
Well, that's what, like because Billy Wilder just slapped a credit on, but he didn't do anything because they've just taken the play script and done that, run with it.
That's what I mean. It's so like it is so like literally it is so theater.
Yeah, it's all just in
sense.
one room.
To the point of like it's just a man speaking.
Yeah,
Like,
which is
that's
I
the
think
chunk
where
of this
the note
film.
of being a psychopath came from, because this guy is mental.
Yeah.
By the way, he is a lunatic. He's like every 2 minutes he starts monologuing to himself, and then he'll flash back to an imaginary situation, and then come back and be like, "Oh God, I'm gonna die."
There's a scene where he's imagining his wife in the garden talking room with his wife belittling his masculine sexual ability.
Yeah,
is what she's doing. He's like, no, women always fall for me. And she goes, yeah, right. And so he's talking to this imaginary wife, his imaginary version of his wife.
Yeah.
Be like, yeah, right. So he's thinking that his wife's just belittling him. So he goes, no, there was this situation. And then he has to explain a time when his secretary just like dove on him. And he's like,
but
no. And
So
then with his shirt split, and then we cut to like him go, there was a time when I was in the hospital. Do you remember that time? And the nurse fell over me. And then
But the thing is, in my head for this, is none of that is true. Because it isn't. Knowing this guy, none of that can be true. So he is sat in his garden talking to an imaginary wife, and then trying to convince an imaginary person of something that isn't true by making up false stories about people that probably didn't exist.
Well, no, the secretary does exist.
Well, the secretary exists, but like that nurse could have not
Probably
been real,
never.
or, like it probably never happened. Well, none of it happened. So he's just kind of going.
There was also that one bit of him with a blonde on the beach, and then he just runs into the ocean.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
There's
that was good. That was good.
That was good. That was
Yeah.
right. There was very few funny moments in this, and there was like maybe two,
No,
and that was one of
no,
them
no.
to me.
No, I can list a few. I'll
Right.
say the when he trips over that rollerblade and then picks it up and goes, "Oh, I'll find the other one later," and then like 15 minutes later, when I forgot that joke when I forgot that set had even happened, he trips over the second one, and I was like, "That's very good. That's excellent. Well done, everyone." There's the joke near the end where he's like, he just outwardly references Marilyn Monroe,
Yeah.
which I find bizarre. It's like the thing with Captain America having that little book of things he should watch, and one of them being Star Wars. It's like, well, he's gonna be confused when Nick Fury shows up, isn't he? He's gonna be very confused.
Yeah, Marilyn Monroe as an actress exists in this film.
Yeah, she must be real. So I mean, headcanon, I guess. This lady, who is she ever named? Is Marilyn Monroe's character?
No, this is another complaint that I have. This is one
She's
thing. She is IMDb credited as the girl.
Brilliant. Well, that is insightful. She, she, by the way, is brilliant in this.
Right. She is not my complaint of this film. If anything,
Okay.
she is my favorite part of this film.
Yeah, she's
and
great.
I think she is brilliant. Again,
Yeah.
this is my second time. This is my second Marilyn Monroe film. No, technically third, because obviously Some Like It Hot. I watched All About Eve for the first time not long ago, and she's very briefly in it. She's not in it low. She's got a total screen time of like 2.5 minutes. Our film that's 2 hours and 20. So it's not like
Right, yeah,
so
yeah,
it's
she's not in a lot.
It was early in her career as well, anyway. So
Okay.
and then obviously this film, and one thing I want to say is it's very because I did a little bit of research on Marilyn Monroe because obviously I almost wanted a little bit of context before seeing Blonde. And I watched a video by the YouTube channel Be Kind Rewind, who does loads of great videos on like old classic Hollywood and just general actresses, like just general females in the film world and the history of that. Brilliant channel if you haven't watched anything from her. But she did a video on Marilyn Monroe and her final film, and she basically gave context in the sense like she was always looked at as kind of like the ditzy dumb blonde, although she was actually quite an intelligent person in real life.
Yeah.
And and almost this film was kind of the breaking point where apparently like Eli Wallach, because she was co-stars with Eli Wallach at one point, she was just mates with Eli Wallach, that they were apparently just walking down the street one time and there was like just like a billboard advert with this scene with the dress blowing up and all that. And then to which Marilyn Monroe was very much like, oh, that's all they want me to be. They don't want me to be anything else. So that is when she decided to go into Lee Strasberg's acting studio and actually study the method. And that's where she actually became a bit more actory. And she and she wanted to actually try to really properly show her talent as an actress. Some Like It Hot falls in that time period of her post Lee Strasberg. This film falls a bit pre-Strasberg, like literally just 1 year before Strasberg. But that being said, obviously I think they're two very different roles, and I personally think there's a lot more layers to her in Some Like It Hot than there is
I disagree.
You're wrong completely, Robbie.
I completely disagree.
There's more. There's Some Like It. Her character doesn't have as much layers as the girl in the 7-Year Itch.
No, but because I couldn't tell you anything from Some Like It Hot. I couldn't tell you anything that happened in that,
Right?
or anything about her.
Right, you could tell me her in this film because you've just watched it.
That is true, but I just remember enjoying her more in this than I do in Some Like It Hot. She's funnier. She's more fun to watch. The stuff with where she got her toe stuck in a tap.
Yeah, the plumber. Yeah.
What's going on there? By the way, how do you physically do that? So that's fine, I suppose, isn't it? I don't know. I don't know what my point was. I just find her funny.
You say, yeah. Oh, I get it. She's in colour in this film.
Yeah,
Another more black and white prejudice. I see how it is.
It's not. Reese has replied to my story saying that he's Team Oscar, so that's upsetting.
Reese is Team Oscar now.
Apparently. I've lost my list, by the way. I'm trying to find it. Has he swapped? Was he on my team?
He has. He was.
Oh, that guy sucks.
We'll review it in the intermission. We'll review all this in the intermission, but that's blast. Oh, wow. Okay.
God damn it. But yeah,
yes.
I enjoy her more in this. I think the main character is baffling. But right, okay. I'm gonna try and sum this up
right
in a concise and knowledgeable way. He is a lunatic and a terrible bloke who like he thinks he's thinking about cheating on his wife, right?
Yes.
For the whole movie, and then starts like convincing himself that it's a medical condition. which is And yes, people shouldn't cheat on their wives. Obviously, adultery is a bad thing. For audio only listeners, I moved out the way and flashed Tiger Woods at the screen.
Robbie
There he
flashed
is.
Tiger Woods at us.
I flashed Tiger Woods. Sorry. But like, it's obviously a terrible thing. Yes, completely, obviously, would never do that, right? But this film does it in such a way that it's hilarious, and I cannot explain why. I think it's so funny.
Right, before we break down any other bits within this, I'll
Yes.
get my generalisms.
Yeah, you go for it. Yeah.
And to me, what I thought about this film was because I stuck on like the last like half of this film today before hopping on Skype with you, just to remind myself, because I watched this yesterday. I thought, let me just refresh myself generally on the film. So I just stuck like the last half on and then just watched it from there. And the one thing that the feeling I got, do you remember that one scene in Fist of Fury where, which I'm sure no one would have expected this sentence to come out of
I was
me
going to
from
say, this
talking
is a... Okay.
You remember that one scene in Fist of Fury where, like, we're introduced to the Russian bloke, and it's just a load of gross businessmen laughing at, like, at a woman just dancing, like a stripper dancing. And it's just it's just that. And it's, to me, that was that one moment
is this whole
stretched out to an hour and 40 minutes. I'm just watching gross old blokes going like that's what I felt like through the entire film. It doesn't help that this what's his name? What's his character's name? I can't remember.
I don't know. Richard. God, what the hell is his last name? Richard Sherman.
We'll call him Sherman. Sherman over here there's moments where he's like, first of all, it was like as soon as the opening scene started, and again, I knew nothing about this film going into this. So we're in Native America. I'm like, okay,
I forgot about that. That was weird.
We're in Native America, and then it's like a load of blokes just waving off their wives, and then they turn, and then they're all like, oh, wababoo, and then they see just another woman, just a woman just walking by, and then they all walk in just a whole, like a sheep herd of human beings towards this woman, and I'm like, and then they go, this has nothing to do with David. This has nothing to do with Indians, so we'll move on from this. I'm like, right, but there's a reason why you showed this, so why did you show us this? And I'm like, oh no, if this is... And then
this
again...
is what the movie is.
Oh, no, I was like, oh, if this is the film... Because again, I knew Marilyn Monroe film, and I knew her reputation and all that, and I knew this was pre-Strasbourg. Marilyn... I'm like, oh, is this just going to be one big moment of, like, this one guy, his wife's gone away, and Marilyn Monroe somehow stumbles into his life, and is this just going to be one big film of this one guy going, wabba, blah, and then just like, and I'm like, oh yeah, and it is. And it is.
Do you not think it felt like an elongated episode of Fawlty Towers?
No, because I laugh in Fawlty Towers.
No, just a Basil Fawlty style idiot. He's just going like, I don't want to cheat on my wife, but also
right. Because the thing,
does.
Right, because the thing with that is, if we're comparing it to that with Basil Fawlty, I know his relationship with Sybil. I know
That's
that.
Fair.
I know that, and I know what Basil Fawlty's like. I know he's kind of unlikable, but he's kind of just a bit of like. But everything, he always gets his comeuppance anyway. Like even if he does bad things, he always gets smacked in the face, mostly by Sybil, actually, mostly by his wife.
Yeah.
So, but like, we don't know anything about Sherman's wife, and to me, Sherman isn't that much of a bumbling idiot to where I'm finding him funny. If this was like almost really slapsticky, it would have been. But like, we spend more time of him just talking to us about like him being like, oh, just one drink. It's nothing. It's nothing. It's nothing at all. I'll just have one drink with her. It's perfectly fine. She could just have one drink, then leave. It's okay. Just one drink. That's fine.
But
oh, wait a minute. Yeah, but then But then I feel like the slapstick stuff could have been funny if there was more of it. But we're not in. But we didn't do any of that, so we didn't lean into any of that humor. And legitimately, this was exactly my thought. Exactly my thought. Again, Marilyn Monroe, great in the film. I think she does more than she needs to in this film. In all honesty,
she's the best part of this quite easily.
She is. I'm learning again from just seeing her again, like in Some Like It Hot and in this as well. I just find her. Yes. She is very beautiful, but also, my God, is she charismatic? She is.
Jesus Christ, yeah.
Like she is not just like so. She is not. Again, she got branded as the blonde bombshell, and she got shoved into those roles. But she's anything but just a characterless blonde.
Yeah.
She is good looking, but God, she has got. She's funny. She is. She is genuinely funny. It's even like. The bits that like I just find her quite likable in is that again like just little moments of her being like, and I'm also kind of glad the whole film isn't just her like, oh whoops, can you help me pick up my bra or what, you know what I mean, or something like that. Like, it's not like that, or it's not like, oh, I'll get that for you, and she bends over in front of him and he's like blah blah blah. There's no like that with it. They're all kind of like. It is more so just like he's just kind of like just being a big awkward goof around her. But but the moment of me of like when we get introduced to Marilyn Monroe, and it's actually quite a well done introduction in the sense that like we see her silhouette and it's like, okay, this is a really cool way to introduce Marilyn Monroe in the film.
Yeah. I
literally, right, when that exchange, that sequence of her walking into the apartment and for the first time, whatever, and those two meeting for the first time. The girl and Sherman meeting for the first time.
Those two iconic characters.
The girl and Sherman. And I'm like, okay, here we go. Let's see what this is like. And I genuinely felt like the interaction and dialogue that was said and the way it all played out, I was like, I felt like I just watched the start to a porno. I felt like I literally just watched the start of a porno of like, it's so thing where it's like, my wife's gone away. Wonder what could happen. Oh, the doorbell's ringing. Let me answer the door. Hello there. Oh, who are you? Oh, I'm just moving in. Oh, how convenient that like the upstairs neighbors have moved out, and it's like she's walking up, and we get we make sure her backside's in frame, and we make sure he gets a good look at it, and we do, and it's all that stuff.
I will go.
And even to the point of when the tomato plant just comes sailing down to the chair, which. I mean, which of all the things to do, it's so extreme. I'm like, okay, that's a bit like amusing.
Yeah.
And then he's kicking off, and then he sees her. He's like, oh, no, don't worry about it. Hey, do you want a drink? And she goes, I'll just put some clothes on. It's like, oh, for God's sake, man. It just, it gets to, and like, again, you can look at it, goes, it's a bit farcical comedy, which, yes, it is. Yes, it is. It's very farcical comedy. But once I realized that's the joke, and they don't do any other thing than that joke. It's like, right, I get it. I can't root for this guy because I'm not behind him one bit. And it doesn't, it's like, right, it would be one thing if this was a bloke who's, again, it's a thing that always happened around this time period. Older actors were getting with younger actresses in these era of films. It just is the time. But in my head, I don't know. Again, it might just be because, you know, how we talk about how, like, with the Philadelphia Story, how it's like, well, that's just very of its time. But with me, I can at least watch that and kind of get past a lot of the elements that might be a little bit not great now.
Yeah.
With this film, that's all this is. And to me, it's like it would have been a lot more, I would have been a lot more on board with the film if Sherman was just a single bloke who's just really awkward. Again, it wouldn't have, you would lose all your stakes, but also it would have just been a generic kind of like rom-com, which I would have been able to wash down easier than what this is.
To me, I think that, I mean, the dialogue's pretty quick, and I think I think it's very well written. But I know what you mean. I think one part of it where I was like, that's just weird. The age gap. She's
22 and 38.
Yeah. What do you mean by that?
Also, that man is definitely not.
Yeah, that guy's
38.
not 38. Are you joking me? Look at him.
He's
Jesus
about.
Christ.
He's about 40s. Come on.
Yeah. Yeah. Like
Come
you know,
on.
and that's late 40s as well. He's not like 42. So you know, it's but also at the same time, Marilyn Monroe isn't 22. And
No.
you can tell that she isn't 22 in this.
At this point, she would have been 29. She would have been going on 30.
Yeah. So it's all very bizarre, but for the fact that that's the age gap written into the script, again, I know you know of its time and whatever, but
It's very of its time, yeah.
But dear God, I don't know. I think for me it was very witty, and quick. I think that one thing that confused me, and oh God, do you know what I find myself doing on these podcasts quite a lot? Is I'll pick up on a random detail that's got nothing to do with what the actual anyone's opinion of the film actually is. But
it's one of my favorite. It's one of my favorite things about them. So let's keep going with it.
But you know that Tom guy that comes to check on him, right?
Yeah.
Did he kill that dude? Because like he pushes him over and he bangs his head or whatever, and then he's just lumped
He punches him and then he's knocked him out.
Yeah, and then he's just lumps there in a corner somewhere, and he basically says to the janitor or whatever, he basically goes, "Hey man, get rid of that body." So that's weird. Also, there was a point in this where I thought that we were doing a Last Christmas situation. There was a point in this, like it was nearer the end. I think it was when she was asking to stay over at his house and stuff. There was a point where I was like,
again,
is she not
again?
real? I was like, is Marilyn Monroe like not an actual person? Like,
you know what? If
the girl not in this,
I would have really liked that if that was the case.
Well,
but then the janitor sees her. But then the janitor sees her. It's like, oh,
because I was thinking, I was like, is he imagining cheating on his wife? Because he's getting so stressed out about the idea of cheating on his wife. Is that what's going on here? Because she said something at one point where I was like, that's very oddly specific for you to be saying right now.
I think isn't it like 38's a good age or something like that? Or like, oh, a married man. Great. I like married men because they won't ask me to marry them. It's like, this is all, again, as I said, it all feels very...
Yeah.
Like, how do we get the pornographic actors to have sex quicker? She always has to agree with him, and he always has to really make an advance.
Yeah, I mean, what was the other thing I was going to say about? It was something to do with the idea of it being imaginary. Oh yeah, when you were saying earlier on about Fawlty Towers and Basil Fawlty, and he's a bit of a bad bloke, but you like him because he usually gets his comeuppance. I think that's something that was missing from the ending of this. He never gets a comeuppance. After his wife leaves, and we have, there's a few imaginary scenes with her or whatever, she never comes back and we never see her again.
No.
Which I was waiting for that confrontation. Yeah. Because they tease it a lot. There's that lovely imaginary bit where he gets shot in the stomach like 7 times. Which is fantastic.
Because a revolver carries 6 bullets. But
yeah.
Again, I'm not nitpicking that. I'm not nitpicking that. It's funny. That's like Billy Wilder comedy. That is. That's just daft.
that bit was great. But I was kind of waiting for that confrontation to happen and for someone to call him out on his debacle. But nobody does ever.
It just feels like, I don't know.
He just kind of runs out and he's like, "This is fine. I'm going to deliver the paddle. Oh, you forgot your shoes. Oh, silly me. I'm going to do a little tap dance and then crick my neck about 4 times for some reason before setting off again." And then that's the end of the movie.
And then, I don't know, man. It's like, again, that ended. I'm like we get a confrontation with him and Tom, who Tom is completely in the right in this situation.
Oh, yeah.
He's done nothing wrong. And he gets
He shows up and goes, "I've gone to collect your paddle because you forgot to send it." What, you accusing me? You accusing me cheating on my wife with a blonde lady? I never said
He
it.
goes,
I never said it. What are you talking about?
He goes like, well, she wants a divorce. He's like, she does. By the way, that actor who played Tom, brilliant just brilliant small segment. And again, it's all done in one shot. Again, nothing fancy either. It's like theater one shot. It's like the camera just like leads that. He goes like, "Hello, Dickie boy." He goes like, "Don't call me Dickie boy." And he goes like, "It's like if she wants a divorce, she doesn't want." And he does a full like thing of like, it's like, "She just wants the paddle." And then it's like, "Little Ricky boy is." It's like he's just there with a kayak and no paddle. All the other children are playing with their paddles, and Ricky has to sit there because he hasn't got his paddle. And then he goes like, "You know what?" He's like, "Don't you tell me." And then he goes, "Why?" He's just like a full. I'm like, what?
Talk about making your screen time your own. Do you know what I mean? That guy came in and was like, "I'm gonna go for 100 on this. I'm gonna go 110."
He literally he started off a bit like, "Oh yeah, well, you know, whatever," and then he just outright just was like, "No, what?" Just swinging about.
I'm flinging everything into this. But yeah, I mean, I don't know.
And that's a bit that I found funny. He's like, he punches him, he falls down, knocks into the record starts playing, he just walks over, like stops the music playing. The girl walks out. "Oh, breakfast is ready. Oh, is this a friend?"
Yeah,
like,
and she's like, "Meet Tom McKenzie."
"Oh, he's a good
and
guy."
just like, "Oh, hi, Tom." It's like, what?
And he's just...
These two, there's got to be some way of doing like a fan edit of this that makes them both maniac serial killers.
But her and Sherman, the girl and Sherman.
Yeah, there's got to be, because it's very odd.
All I'm saying again, what I'm gonna say is, again, I don't know how well you can even like break into like the analysis of this, because it's so like these characters are so not.
Yeah,
I don't know. I feel like this is the problem you had with Umbrella Cherbourg put in my head.
Yeah.
I feel like you could get away with this film for similar reasons how I can get away with Umbrella Cherbourg, in the sense like with me, I just was with Umbrella Cherbourg, I was just buckled in and I'm fine with the complete vibe this film was giving me off, and you're like, but nothing happened. Nothing made any sense. I go, no, but Robbie, here's why. And I feel like it's a switcheroo where you're like, Oscar is just funny. I'm just buckle in and just watch it be funny. I'm like, but nothing happened.
It was funny, man. I thought it was really funny.
Because here's the thing as well. We get to the point, but I'm doing anyway because it makes for funny stuff.
Okay.
But we get to the point where, like, okay, he's being a little like creepy Sherman. "Oh, let me put your straps round you." Blah, 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 blah. And then he's like, and then he does it, you know, the chit chat, whatever. She finds out he's married because he got his finger stuck in a champagne bottle, sure. And then,
fine.
And then, sure. Clever. Oh, in all honesty, a clever way how it did. I didn't expect it at that point. I was like, oh, okay. Cool,
also, his physicality when holding that champagne bottle in his finger is hilarious.
Yeah.
It's really good stuff.
And so, like, all this happens. He lunges to her on a piano. Again, also, I want to say, I really liked Marilyn Monroe's performance of just like doing chopsticks, just so like, it's like you don't need to do it. The piano's doing it as well.
Yeah.
Oh, bless you, love.
God bless you.
Bless you. And then he lunges at her, and then she's still like, it's so ditzy in the sense where like she's like, "Oh, all right." And he goes, "I think you should leave." She goes, "Oh, okay." He goes, why did you not run out? Why did you?
Well, yeah, that was kind of a question I had. I mean, in my head, I'm thinking like
she outright said to him, "It's like, oh, good, a married man means they're not going to." That implies she's glad he's married because he's not going to try anything on her.
Yeah, but then also in my head, I'm thinking, I think she wants him to. But then at the same time, but yeah, why? I don't know. Because this is the weird heightened fictional reality that this film takes place in.
Yeah, I guess.
It doesn't feel like it takes place in the real world. It's like the Raimi Spider-Man movies. They just take place in a weird alternate dimension where everything's a cartoon. You know.
And then so like we get all that, and then it gets to the point of like, but then she's clearly trying it on with him. But then we get a weird moment where we're seeing what is going on in her head because she's speaking out loud. but she's clearly not. But he's not clearly hearing her, and also vice versa. So we're clear. It's a moment where she sat down and he's making drinks or whatever after they went to see the creature from the Black Lagoon. After the scene, which I do want to say, I've never known a more like unnecessarily hyped, iconic cinematic moment in my life.
Yeah, well, I think
this
it's weird because the famous shot of it is not in this. It's an image, isn't it? Isn't it a film from the behind the scenes or something?
Yeah, it clearly because it's just it, and because I'm waiting for like a big wide of the dress flying up, and I'm like, okay,
but it just doesn't happen.
No,
it's like close-ups.
Like I'm waiting for this shot. That's my background right now.
Yeah,
to basically be happening.
Doesn't exist.
That's just a behind the scenes thing.
Yeah.
So
that shot does not exist in the movie. The one that you think you've seen, not real.
That shot, it's a total Mandela effect is one thing I've discovered with this. And it's like, because this shot is clearly, what I've learned, there's a reason why I've never heard of this film, but I know of this shot, is that this is famous because Marilyn Monroe's dress flew up.
Yeah.
And Marilyn Monroe in the 50s, very sought after woman.
Yeah.
So
that's why it's famous. It's not for any particular like iconic scene or anything.
It's a specific image. It may as well just be a photo shoot, is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Of just Marilyn Monroe with going whoop and then that. No one knows the 7-year itch. They know Marilyn Monroe's dress flew up. And so there's a scene after that, and she's speaking, and we're not hearing her saying, "Oh, he's really sweet. I kind of want to like, you know, maybe he would try something. I don't know." No, the only time we get in her head, the one time this film decides, let's see what the girl is thinking, is just, it's just really hot in my room. Maybe he'll let me sleep here because I'll be really hot otherwise, and he's got aircon. That's the so as far as we're aware, that's the only interest she has with him. So why is she still pecking him on the lips? Why is by the end of this film, where we are made to believe, yes, you are wrong for trying to cheat on your wife, he murders Tom Mackenzie. We'll say it now. He murders a man. He murders a man.
Yeah.
He's like a man who is simply just trying to be like, hey, your wife, I'm going to get the paddle because I'm there anyway. So while I'm stopping over here, I'll grab the paddle and I'll go back. He goes, no, F you, Tom Mackenzie. I'll do it myself. Stuff you in your hayride. It's like, what hayride? Bang!
Bang.
And then he's gone. And then he's out.
This hayride I made up in my head.
To which then the girl walks out. She goes, oh well. Janitor comes in. Forgot his Sherman goes, get him out of here.
Disposes of the body.
And he goes, gee, my back. It hurt from Carolyn. This poodle, which, first of all, the poodle, I'll turn back. This man made a reference to a poodle as if he was talking about a backside. What does he mean he's been carrying around this poodle?
Well, that's what I thought. When he first said he was upset about carrying a poodle, it's very heavily implied that he's talking about someone's backside, right?
Yeah, because he went,
and then
I'm meeting a woman with a big poodle. It's like, all right, talk about backside.
But then turns out, I imagine it's one of those dogs from Ang Lee's Hulk movie. Remember them? One of them? I don't know what he means.
And then so then he
Let's
takes
say this is
him out
to Ang Lee's Hulk. I don't know.
Sure, why not? So then the janitor takes out Tom Mackenzie's corpse, and then Sherman's like, I got a paddle to deliver. You could stay at the house. You've unnailed the roof, so you could just walk through anyway. I didn't hear it. I was too busy wrapping up a paddle where I first tried to use a paper bag and then it split. And then I was like, oh, gee, oh, no, my life's ruined. What am I going to do about this paddle? And then, so then he's going, right, you can stay in this house. I'm going to go on holiday with my wife.
Yeah.
And she goes, all right, before you go, give a message to your wife. Smooch. What, does she want to get with your wife? Is that the implication?
I think the implication there was give a message to your wife, and then it would leave, when she kisses him, it'd leave lipstick on. So then it'd be like, your man's taken now. He's mine.
But that's not what is happening at the end.
Oh,
He's not going to deliver the paddle and go, and by the way, divorce. He's not.
Might
he's
be.
not-
Could
but he
be.
would- But that's not what the ending is. He's like, I'm going to go and spend time with my wife and bring the paddle back to my son. And she gives him a kiss. And she goes, if she thinks it's cherry sauce, tell her she's got pips for brain or whatever. And
Yeah.
to which I'm like, so you.
So you want
she-
you want her to know.
And then he's just kind of like, oh, gee, nice one. It's like, no, that's not
Yeah.
that's not an oh, gee moment. It just got to the end. I was like, what are these people? This
Well,
doesn't make any sense.
Well, this is when
I was losing my mind, Robbie. I felt like I stepped into the Twilight Zone. So I was like going through some psychotic episode where I was like, what is even happening?
Well, this is where I wanted him to run out of the house without his shoes, and then her go, wait, you forgot your shoes. Him turn around. She throws the shoes to him. He goes, thanks, cricks his neck 7 times. And then looks
Dies.
back, yeah, snaps his own neck by it and dies. Like, I wanted him to look back to the window and she smile at him and then fade out. She never existed. That's what I wanted. She was never there.
No, I want him to. It's like, yeah, no, she fades away. He goes, wait, what? Then he wakes up in a straight jacket. Just
Well,
like,
exactly, yeah. And then the janitor dragging away Tom Mackenzie's body, then waves to him from the doorway, also dissolves. Tom Mackenzie's body's still there. He still murdered
Oh,
Tom,
just-
but the janitor fades away. The janitor was never real either.
He's a weird character.
He's
a-
bizarre, isn't he? I want to know that guy's style. I want an origin movie. I want the janitor from 7 Year Itch.
It's called,
solo
the 7
movie,
year, it's
please.
called the 7 year poodle. And also, right, that's another thing. I like how, like,
the 7 kg poodle.
I also like how apparently it's just like a known John Wick society within this of just a load of men where it's like, hey, when the women go off for summer, I know a place where you can get abroad. It's just,
Well, exactly, but also
it's-
like, is
it's
that a
like-
thing?
I don't know.
That everyone sends their wife off in the summer. They just go,
yeah,
all the
no,
wives
'cause-
go, off you go.
Under the guise of like, oh, well, I'm working.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't know what that's about.
Because it's like his boss is shaving in his office, and then like Sherman's like, I think I might have to like just like take time off work to go. He goes, no, don't worry. No, you need to keep working. It's the busiest time. Hey, how about we meet after drinks so we can get abroad? How about that, Sherman? It's like, what is this? What are we doing? What are we
I
doing?
love the weird German doctor that comes in. Big fan of him. He's great. Yeah, with
I
the
like-
thumb twitch.
It's all right. Okay, this is also another thing. Billy Wilder is also one of my favorite people in terms of doing like one-liners and like just perfect
Yeah.
bits of dialogue. We talked about it in some like I can't remember anything specific, but like there's loads of lines in that film which I find really funny. Contrast to this, but there's just the one bit of like it's like where he's trying to get free treatment from the psychiatrist, and he's
Yeah.
like, please, what if like a really special, an interesting case comes around? He goes like, all cases are interesting for $50.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like
I love it.
good stuff. Good
He
stuff.
was great for his one scene. So he goes into the Tom Mackenzie pile of people that were good in this for a scene.
Yeah, it's Tom Mackenzie and the girl. I like the two standouts for me. in this
Yeah,
film.
yeah. I would say, yeah, the girl is definitely a standout character. But I also like Sherman in terms of like delving into this guy's psyche and being like, what is wrong with this man? What is wrong with it? What is wrong
Right.
with this guy?
Right, yes. I do want a Netflix presents Sherman. I do
Yes.
want that.
Yes.
Because all I'm saying is the man's not endearing when he's like being a bit like, he's not like a nice little endearing, charming man where he's like looking up to the girl. He sees her and he goes, oh, it's no,
Hi there.
it's no worry at all. Hey, how about you come for a drink? It's
Oh,
just at
God.
that point I'm like, don't just run from the man.
I'd love to see a Netflix drama where he's played by Evan Peters. That's what I want. Please. That'd be fantastic.
Harry Styles as Sherman.
Oh God, don't.
I'll get
Don't
to
talk
that.
about it. Yeah,
get to
Christ, I'm very
in the
excited about it.
intermission. But yeah, right. I think I. Is there any other specific comedic bits you want to that stood out to you, Robbie?
I've got nothing. I've got no more points about this.
Right. And so I think the one thing I've realized, this isn't like a La La Land situation where I kind of discovered I might not like the film for like a deeply personal reason. But I think with this film, I just don't like it because it really isn't my type of comedy. And it just is kind of like everything. It's a lot of things to where I'm just like, oh no, oh dear. And it's like, again, as I said, it's that for the whole film. And I think that, like, and again, this is the first Billy Wilder film that I've watched that I haven't liked, which I'll say, good on the man.
Yeah, I think good on him.
I think he was like at a certain time period, he was like pumping out a film every year. So it's not like he was like a Terrence Malick where he was waiting years in between films.
Not everyone can be a banger, you know.
You know, it was, it's just amazing the fact he did Some Like It Hot and then The Apartment back to back for me. But I think that again, I think the thing that saves this film for me is Marilyn Monroe. And if this film was ever stuck on again, like if it was just on, first of all, be warned, if anyone is with me and sticks that film on, I am going to point out everything that I don't like about it. So you're warned there.
Yeah, he's going to viciously complain.
But it depends also who I'm watching it with. But also I'll probably fight to also complain about it. But I think that I gave it like 2.5 stars on Letterboxd. And the thing that stops me from really disliking the film is that, again, I just think Marilyn Monroe does such a good job in the film. And again, I think it's because she is almost playing so. I think it's like now I can see. Obviously, at the time, people might have just thought, "Oh, ditzy blonde Marilyn Monroe." Where it's like now I can almost look at the film and be like, "No, I can totally see she is like doing like a really good performance as just a ditzy blonde." Like, and I look forward to watching Blonde. Like, I know biopics don't necessarily mean I'm being told the full accurate story. I'm looking forward for that to be in the opening of the doors to me looking further into more about her. But yeah, I liked her in this film. There's a lot of moments where I just found her charming. I just really like just naturally charismatic, and I did find her funny. Again, there's nothing in particular about it, but again, she has a certain thing where like she just really did feel like she embodied just the film, and she almost did, and especially considering this was before her Strasbourg training, that she did this film and then was like, but still like did enough to where I felt like she almost knew exactly the type of film this was and then did more. Yeah. Is what I'll say with that. If anything, it made me more interested. It made me interested in watching more Marilyn Monroe. I will say that.
Oh, definitely, yeah, 100%.
Like it feels like a lot of her films are like I haven't watched a lot of like 50s comedies actually. So I'll be interested in exploring that. And obviously, I know she did a film called Gentleman Love Blondes. I think that's the name of the film. It's a Howard Hawks film from 1953.
Okay.
So that, and obviously other films that she did post Strasbourg as well, I'll be interested in. But again, it's not like I watched this film and was like, yeah, she was clearly only cast because of her looks. No, she was. No, I mean, she was
cast because she was good.
I mean, I also think she was cast for her looks, but also she didn't make that the reason why she stood out. I don't
exactly. Think. Yeah.
So final sentiment on the 7-Year Itch. It really, really not my thing.
It really sent this man in a goddamn spiral. He was, it's not looking good.
It was legitimately getting to the point where, like, when we were getting towards the end, I was like, first of all, I was like, let's just wrap it up. Spoilers for another film I might talk about in the intermission. I was like, let's just wrap it up. And then once the ending was wrapping up, I was then going like, what? I didn't even like the ending was happening. I was like, what is this ending? What is anything?
What is the point in anything?
What is it? It almost like Billy Wilder just went, stuff it, and then just floored the gas into the wall. He just floored the car right into the wall that was in front of them. He didn't just kind of like smack the curb and that. He just floored it.
No, he just went straight at it. Straight at a brick. Yeah.
The wall was like literally like 6 feet away, but he still
Yeah.
just went, "Hey, you see that wall? We're going right into it." Wait, what? That's how the ending felt to me. Like, it just felt like this culmination of like, what am I? So I mean,
Damn.
hey, yeah.
I mean,
7-year itch.
I loved it, and I'll stand by it till the day I die. I really liked this, and it's
so surprised.
and I liked it so much more than Some Like It Hot.
Jesus
And
Christ.
I'll stand by that opinion forever. I think. So yeah, if anyone wants to fight me, my DMs are open. Just drop me a line, and we'll arrange something.
Can't wait till you come up to Hartlepool, and I can see you in person about this.
Yeah, we can have a little fight about it if you want. We'll have a little wrestle.
Hey, why are they fighting? About a Marilyn Monroe film. What?
Excuse me. Oh,
that's
Christ.
like a total film shooty thing to like say about a Marilyn Monroe film.
Oh yeah. Well, they fight
yeah.
about you. Don't ask.
Don't worry about it. Don't
Yeah.
worry about
Overall, I liked it.
I can't wait until the next season to where I can put another Billy Wilder film in, to where The 7-Year Itch is not your favorite film by him.
Yeah, keep trying until you find another one. You won't. I'll stand by this forever.
No,
It's his best film.
Of the two films
We'll watch The Apartment at some point, I imagine.
That was meant to be the season, but then I realized Blonde was coming out. I was like, well, I can't just have 2 Billy Wilder films in a season.
Yeah.
So, and Marilyn Monroe isn't in The Apartment, so
yeah,
here we go. But yeah, and that
Okay.
being said, Robbie, should we move on to the intermission section?
It's intermission time. I mean, I'm curious if we've got any more voters in teams.
I'll have a little look now. Can we? Right, I'll say this now. Are we should I say to my mum, who's listening to this, who is in theory listening to this?
Hi, Mrs. Fitchett.
You've heard us talk about the 7-Year Itch. Can we? You can stop listening to now if you really want to. It's just going to be us just doing it. So, do we have permission to not?
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, can we swear if in the intermission, because probably will do by accident anyway.
It would just be us talking about stuff that she doesn't know. So I feel like it will be better to do so. So
Yeah.
the swear ban's gone now. I don't know if we accidentally swore, but
I don't think we did. I think we stuck to it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Thanks for listening, Mrs. Fitchett.
Right.
Hopefully see you soon.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
Right. So first of all,
Yeah.
right. So obviously Tyler replied to the intermission story, saying "Teen Robbie forever."
Yep.
Shambles.
Legendary.
I don't believe this.
What's this? What's happening?
Right. So far, it's 36 and 64% on Team Robbie's side.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. There's 9. All right, hang on. Let's look at this.
Oh, let's go. Okay, hang on. I'm making a new list because I've lost the bit of paper that I wrote on, which obviously very unlike me. Robbie forgetting where he's putting something. Right.
Oh, this is shambles. I'm sorry.
Yes, this is exactly what I want. I want you to hate the film that we're talking about and then get absolutely rinsed in the vote. This is exactly what I wanted all day. Oh, yes. Right, okay.
Right.
Read me them lists, boy.
So I'll go with Team Robbie first.
Yeah, go on.
Or should we go with Team Oscar? Because that might be...
Yeah.
More drama will end up being on Team Robbie's side is all I'm saying.
Okay. All right.
Again, we'll revisit at the very end to see if there's any more votes or whatnot.
Yeah.
Right. So on Team Oscar...
If by the way, if someone hasn't re-voted this time, they are assumed to still be on the team that they were last time.
Yeah. You have to definitively.
Okay.
Yeah, this isn't a reset. The people who
you
did
definitively pick.
Yeah. But unless you pick otherwise, that's how it goes. Right. So on Team Oscar,
yes,
we still got Maddie Tweedale.
Oh, unbelievable! It's my own sister, man. She's
got,
in the other room. I could go and abuse her.
just accost her. Just
Like, hey, hey,
You
what are you doing?
Hey, don't you worry, Robbie. You're ahead anyway in the votes.
Oh hell yeah! Okay,
Also on Team Oscar is Kate Oakey. Thank you, Kate.
nice, nice one, Kate. Unbelievable, embarrassing. Can't be me. Continue.
Ellie Cutmore is on Team Oscar.
Oh right, okay. Fuming.
Now I'm curious. Now I'm curious about that because I feel like we've had probably equal amount of conversations. with her.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I would say so. So she just likes you more, I guess. Fuming.
So it's not like because Kate Stuffy talked to me more than she's talked to you.
Yeah.
So there's that definitive thing there. Ellie is about to talk to us equally, but she's just liked me better than you.
Fuming. Absolutely seething. What a heathen.
And also Angus Moore is on Team Oscar.
Oh, what a... God, I'm not swearing.
No, we are we now?
Oh, what a fucking bastard. What an absolute piece of shit.
Right.
Okay, so that's the new additions, is it?
Yeah, and on terms of that is just who the people who voted. That is the people who voted so far.
I'll sort out official team lists once we've gone through mine and see if anyone swapped over, etc.
Right, and I'll talk. And your team list, Robbie,
Yeah,
is we've got Aoife McEwen, who's still Team Robbie.
Still strong team Robbie. Yeah.
Joseph Caslin.
Yeah,
again,
still a
disgusting.
One of my prize members.
Sam Clark is on Team Robbie.
Unbelievable. Okay, good stuff, Sam. Cheers, mate.
Tyler McCulloch.
Yeah.
As we determined. Lewis Hamilton has jumped.
Oh my God, yes. He swapped sides.
This is disgusting.
Hell yeah.
Do you know what it is? I think he saw that you've now got your gain on correctly. You've now got your levels correct. So
you know how he's got. You know how he's got my room bugged. He could see. He could see. Oh, he turned his gain down before we went on this.
No. Well, he would have seen. He would have seen from this photo that I took for the poll.
I see.
Because
yeah.
Reese Bruce is voting Team Robbie. I thought you said you voted Team Oscar.
Well, he messaged me personally and said, so our DMs has gone him replying to the story saying Team Oscar. I put flack, and he said, "What's this whole team thing about anyway?" And then he said, "On the actual intermission voting system, I voted for you. I'm an agent of chaos. Never forget that." Is what he said.
Right, so it might be he's on Team Robbie, but he's a sleeper agent for me. And if he is, I'm unaware of this.
I'll put him on mine, and I'll put a little asterisk to say, "Watch out for this guy." All right.
Yeah, look out.
Which
I'm okay. Yeah, that's surprising. Adam Storr is Team Robbie.
Oh, what a beautiful man. Okay. Hell yeah. What a chin.
I don't know the man.
He's recovering, actually. Recently, he tried to jump over a fence whilst he was drunk and slipped, and a spike went through his armpit.
Oh, God.
So he's had surgery, so speedy recovery, Adam. I hope you're all right, mate.
And a girlfriend of the podcast, Julia Coley, is Team Robbie, which, I mean, I would be very surprised if she wasn't.
I bloody hope so, quite frankly.
That's not
Jesus.
That's not a how dare she. That is a...
That's a that makes sense.
Well, yeah, come on.
Okay.
Duh. So, yeah.
Is that all the votes from today?
So far, yes.
Right, okay. I'm going to then... I'll write up the rest of the teams.
So that is the current situation with teams. We'll review this at the end of this episode. Yeah.
Joseph. And then on yours, I've got not Lewis anymore. Unbelievable. I cannot believe that. That's
disgusting.
That is fantastic.
I'm seeing him Saturday because we're going bowling for Gary's birthday. So
wow. I'm 3 people stronger than you currently. And on the chart of who could take who in a fight, I think my team's just edging it now. Last week it definitely wasn't. Last week you were definitely winning, but
I've still got Leo. I've still technically got
Oh
Leo.
yeah, you have got Leo, haven't you?
Yeah, he hasn't voted yet,
Treacherous
But-
bastard.
but he's still. But all I'm saying is,
Yeah, but he'll
Well-
remain Team Oscar.
and all I'm saying is, we're going to be even closer because I'm going to be seeing him next week. Because in 2 weeks' time, we're going to be going. He's going to be making his debut as the hard cam operator for North Wrestling.
Oh, nice, yeah.
So, and we're using my Lumix camera for the hard cam. So I'm going to be just
Fantastic.
So I can't wait for in the words of that one dude at the end of Casablanca, this is going to be the start of a beautiful friendship.
Yeah, I can't
So-
believe it. Would you like to nominate a team captain?
What's me? What do you mean?
Well,
I'm team
yeah,
captain for Oscar.
okay.
For Team Oscar.
That makes sense actually. Yeah. Well, I was seeing as more as like
like a right hand man. Is
yeah,
that what
like
you
a
mean?
right hand of the
So
Yeah.
if I'm Don Vito, I need a Sonny. Is that what you?
yeah
Is
yeah.
what you
This is
mean?
what I'm
Right.
saying. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Well, it's
Who are you
Angus.
nominating?
Angus is
Uh,
my
Angus
Sonny
is
Corleone.
yours.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll circle Angus. I'll say my right hand's gonna be Tyler,
Oh, birthday
the-
boy
and the-
Tyler. But
and they can just yeah. Mine is the birthday boy, Tyler, birthday boy of the podcast, Tyler McCulloch,
and
who will
Angus,
constantly be birthday boy.
And I will say this: if anyone who's listening might be like, "What? I don't understand." We'll try to bring faces to names with
Yeah,
these
one
people.
of these days.
But yeah, so do you know what we've just done in that regard? We've set an Oakroyd civil war on that.
We
point.
have, yeah, and I'm
But you-
buzzing.
No, but you know what's even funnier? At the minute, Tyler's in Oakroyd. Tyler is the only Team Robbie
Yeah,
because
and I hope he keeps fighting that fight.
you've got Angus, Kate, and Ellie who are Team Oscar in
Oh my
Oakroyd.
God.
Oh, it's gonna be.
That's what I mean.
Oh.
And do you know what's fantastic about that? I'd never have to see any of them ever again.
You will end up seeing them.
I know I will. And then I'll get abused for saying this on the podcast. That's a joke. So all Oakroyd residents, that was a joke. They don't fucking
But
listen
yeah.
to this. Who am I kidding? Angus
Well,
listens
Angus
to this,
does.
I guess.
You know Angus, the Team Oscar, the Sonny,
Team
the
Oscar
Sonny.
captain.
Well, it's the Sonny Corleone of Team Oscar. Let's say that.
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
the Sonny Corleone. No, he's Intermission. He's the number one fan, isn't he? That's his title, number one
Yeah,
fan.
that- yeah, it is, yeah.
Because if Tyler's birthday boy and Leo is boyfriend of the podcast and Julia
yeah.
is girlfriend of the podcast, then
Yeah.
without doubt, Angus is biggest fan of the podcast. He's
I
number
would
one
say so,
fan.
yeah.
He's number one fan.
He's all, but then he can also be the Sonny of your team in the sense that Tyler's going to shoot him down in the street, which I can't wait for one of these days.
Well, who's Tyler to you then? Who's in that relation?
Tyler's he's the Chewbacca to my Han Solo, and he doesn't say a lot. I'm much cooler, and when he does say something, it's incomprehensible.
And he's without doubt, and he's also mostly in the driver's seat.
Yeah, and
like both-
unbelievably hairly. You wouldn't believe it actually. If when Tyler takes his t-shirt off, Wolfman, neck down, it's incredible.
I wouldn't know. I haven't seen it like you, evidently.
Yeah, knees up. Tyler is.
I don't know why that sounds like a really crappy wrestler nickname. Now please welcome Knees Up, Tyler
Knees Up.
McCulloch.
Oh, brilliant! What a lad.
But yeah, so that's Team Oscar, Team Robbie. We'll revisit this at the end of the podcast if any
Yes.
new names. Conor Dorian is still undecided.
I can't
At
believe
the
that.
minute. He's still in the middle at the minute.
He's got to pick a side soon.
Mm.
He's our I don't know. I was gonna make some kind of reference to World War II. He's our Poland.
Sure.
You know, I don't know. I could
Yeah.
I could tell you I'm not going to invade Conor Dorian, but I probably will. It's what I'm saying.
I can tell you. Now that I can swear, now that I know for a fact that my mum's not listening to this, and I've
Yeah.
warned your mum. I've warned your mum. And it's just stop listening now to this. I did a birthday post for Gary for his birthday. 28 years old now.
Sure, you sure
Um,
did. Happy birthday, Gaza.
To which Angus replied to that post saying, "Fuck Gary."
As in he wants to, or just...
No, as in like, screw this guy.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Which, there's heat there, apparently.
Oh, wow. Well, they're both Team Oscar, so... Unless there's infighting in Team Oscar for the right-hand position.
Well, I mean, Gary might... I don't think Gary won't put up a fight for it.
Absolutely not.
Like, Gary's going to be... No,
not.
do you know who Gary is? If we're still keeping with the Godfather relation, Gary's my Tom Hagen.
Yeah.
Where he's just... He's always there. And he's just kind of like he's, he's about. Who would be my Michael Corleone? Who's inevitably going to be taken over when Angus gets shot down in the middle?
Probably Leo.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Or is Leo the Fredo?
Oh yeah, maybe Leo's the Fredo. Maybe Leo's Fredo. I don't know why that idea makes me laugh so much. That's hilarious. That's so funny.
I almost now want to just do a face swap of John Cazale and Leo.
Yeah, me too. Like, I want to see what that looks like.
So seeing Leo Bradley on
yes.
John Cazale's body, and then, but you know the photo I mean of when Leo's like,
yeah, oh yeah, yeah. The one I'll have it somewhere, but I know exactly which photo you mean.
Like that photo, and then just the John Cazale photo that is basically the intermission of where he's just like,
yeah, he just looks confused,
just straight faced.
Oh God.
But that's the ever-grown saga of Team Oscar versus Team Robbie. We'll figure out something for this. It's now become too fun. It's now become too fun. We'll think of something to where we'll do some sort of battle. We'll do a rugby match or something. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll do something with it. Yes. I might set up because we're being a team and everything. They'll have changing rooms and that. So I'll set up a microphone in there and see if I can maybe bring some recordings of inter-team conversations to the podcast for a little segment. I think that could be a nice.
That wouldn't be a terrible thing. Almost like calling one member of each team and go, so what's the benefits of Team Oscar?
Yeah.
What's the benefits of Team Robbie?
Yeah. So I think I'll see if I can do something like that. Yeah.
And I'm on the edge of my seat of Conadorian's vote.
Oh my God!
On the edge of my seat.
I need him.
Hey, I thought I would have had Joe. I thought I would have had Joe, but he's.
You would think, wouldn't you?
He's made it quite disgustingly blatant. Yeah. I will say it hasn't just been a casual. Oh, I vote for Team Robbie. There you go. He's made it. He's went out of his way to tell me that he's Team Robbie.
Unbelievable.
But yeah,
great stuff.
But then moving on from Civil War and Team Brew, gang warfare.
Yeah, moving on from gang warfare. Gangs of the Intermission podcast.
That should be the segment. It just goes. The segment starts going.
Yeah.
The whistle from West Side Story.
So, yeah, Lewis, clip that and use that as the intro, please, whenever we start talking about this.
I'll do a better one. Let me wet my whistle.
Yeah, go for it. God, that's gross.
No.
Go on.
Nah, hang on. Why is my...
Nah. Where's it gone? Come on. Find your magic.
It's fine.
That's all right. Yeah. Either that or I don't know. Oh, I've talked over the top of that one. That was quite a good one as well.
Well, my audio's separate from yours, isn't it? So it's
fine.
Oh,
yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, we should be all right.
There you go.
Excellent.
Right.
You saw Don't Worry Darling, didn't you?
I want to talk about another film before that, though.
Oh, okay.
I find After Yang is finally in the UK.
Oh, excellent.
It's on Now TV and it's also in certain select cinemas. So I finally watched After Yang. People who are unaware of this film, this is the second feature film by Kokonada, who did a load of really cool video essays on Vimeo for a long time. And then he made a film called Columbus in 2017, which kind of kickstarted do you remember that one meme thing that was where people would just take posters and put John Cho as the leading man.
Yeah.
That was kind of like the first film that was out around that same time, and John Cho's kind of like the lead in it. And
Okay.
so really good, and I love Columbus so much. That's a film that, like, I always say, again, I like saying analogies with films. If the film Her was a physical being, I would have the biggest crush on her.
Okay.
But I would like to think that I would want to be Columbus as a physical. Columbus is the film that I
Okay.
just want to be. It's some of the most beautiful cinematography ever. The score is score that I've put on for working, like really nice, calming, beautiful. It's really chill, but also kind of melancholic, but also kind of really life affirming. It's brilliant. I absolutely flat out adore that film. That's a film I stick on quite often. And I kind of like the fact of, like, I found out about that film mainly because it's on Letterboxd, and it was like on a load of lists. That was like,
Okay.
like befriending the lyrical loneliness type of shit, type of like, or like, it's all about the vibes, those type of lists on Letterboxd.
Yeah.
Where it's like, and it's great film. So I was really excited to see what Coconado would do next, and then to hear that this guy's doing a film that's about, like, kind of like near future sci-fi about, like, a robot dies and, like, or like robot like malfunctions and, like, what that means.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like another spin on grief and stuff like, and loss and stuff like that. And what I'll say is this film is getting better the more I think about it, and it's kind of like how it's not as good as Columbus, I don't think, but Columbus is a 5-star film for me. I want to say that. But After Yang is a film that is really chill, is really calm, and I can see myself I was almost going to stick it on again today, but I just didn't have time. It's like
God damn it.
yeah. And again, the score is gorgeous as well. It is kind of similar to the Columbus score, but also like the Her score in that type of sci-fi, but really chill sci-fi thing. Where the sets are gorgeous. There's a lot of moments where people there's a lot of, like, kind of wanky dialogue moments, but the way it's said, the film is so chill, it comes across more meditative than like, oh, shut up. It's like Colin Farrell's character is a tea maker, like he specializes in tea. Type. It's this cool future as well, where it's a near future where it doesn't really seem like they never say the country or the place that they're in, but it seems very Asian influenced, so it almost seems like this weird, like, hybrid of, like the clothing and, like, the settings. It feels very like period piece Japan, but also not, but in the future type of thing. So it's a really cool set and stuff. And again, there's like a moment where, like, Colin Farrell's explaining why he's into tea and why he likes tea, and it's just really well done and really cool. And just again, but it's just like, again, you could be like, oh, it's a bit like much, but the whole film is literally about talking about what it means to kind of be human. But the film is so calm and meditative where you could just flow with that. And it might have one of my favorite uses of using memories. Like, not spoilery, but if you want to know nothing about After Yang, skip a little bit. There's a moment where Colin Farrell gets the memory chip of Yang, and then he watches it and he sees it through, and he's going through it, and it's POV shots. It does a great job as well. The film, like, switches between aspect ratios, so it goes, like, more letterbox widescreen for the whole film, and then when they do video calls, they go like 4:3 with the characters kind of framed from the waist up, looking directly in the camera, and we cut between each character as if they are video calling, and that's, like, really neat. And the memories, when the memories are, it goes full screen, so it's
nice.
So it switches between that type of thing, and it's like from the point of view of Yang, so it's POV of Yang, so you kind of just see things like Yang looking into the mirror, or Yang looking at a leaf, and then, like, it's all like, but like, or just a leaf, but then there's a montage of all these, like, little things, and there's moments where, like, Haley Richardson's character is introduced in the film mainly because Colin Farrell's looking and he goes, oh, who's that? And he just sees, like, again, just a POV shot of this girl. He's like, who's that? I won't spoil anything, but it's really cool, really neat.
Nice.
And it's a really, you would like it for world building as well. I think there's really cool
Yeah.
world building things about like androids and other sci-fi things, but I won't say exactly what because it's really cool when you find out
Oh yeah.
a certain sci-fi thing. But he does it not like in a big grand way, but it just feels really like, oh, that's really realistic.
Mm.
Like again, this is
Okay.
why I like her a lot, because it's a really out there sci-fi world, but all the sci-fi things feel tangible and realistic.
Yeah, very grounded.
And with me, I'm always interested. I still think we are going to get androids at some point. We just are.
Yeah.
People are like, "Oh, you're silly." Like, no.
It'll happen at some
They're
point.
they're already building bodies anyway, and we've got Siri and Alexa and stuff like that. And I've said many times, like, I will not be surprised if there's an Apple conference and we go, "Let me introduce you to Siri," and Siri just walks out. And After Yang's a good inclusion. That it's not a big grand film, but it's kind of like a really nice, chill, meditative film.
Cool.
Really great film. Highly would recommend After Yang. I want to talk about a film that I actually like before
Yeah, I
I
was
go.
gonna say I'll give that a little watch. That sounds pretty good.
Yeah, really, really good. It's like an hour and a half as well, so it's not long as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's a good watch as well. But yeah, now let me talk about a film that I didn't like, Robbie.
Yeah.
Don't worry, darling. I assume you haven't seen this.
I haven't seen this, but I also I've had it spoiled for me via an article, so I know that the ending is bizarre.
Right. I'm gonna say it's now. The film ended, and I'm next to Lewis, and I look at him, and I go, "That wasn't a good film." And he just starts
Yeah.
laughing. I go, "No, Lewis, that was a." I'm pointing at the screen, and I'm going, "That is a bad film that we just watched right there." And
God.
it got worse the more we talked about it. I don't want to
Yeah.
go too much into it because I'm exhausted from even talking about this.
Yeah,
loads
no,
anyway.
I mean,
but-
well, you say your piece, and then we'll do a little bit of spoilers because I want to get my head around this ending.
Oh,
I've only read about.
Oh, I'm only talking spoilers. So if you care about Don't
fantastic.
Worry, Darling, skip. But I'm not gonna hide
But also
from
start
this.
to worry a little bit, darling.
Yeah, it's a film that like it started. And one thing I will say, Florence Pugh is not a bad part in this film.
No, she's
I will
always good
say-
in everything.
I will say it now. I was talking to Angus about it, and I was like, because he said we chatted a bit about it, and
Yeah.
it was like she did die at Midsummer, but die at Midsummer is still better than anything anyone else did in this.
Yeah.
Like she basically did what she did in Midsummer, but she did it 100 times better in Midsummer, and even then, she's still good in the in this
Yeah,
film.
exactly. Yeah.
It's mad. And I do want to say as well, is Harry Styles good in this? No, not particularly. But no one else is giving anything else to it. So it's not like, woof, Harry Styles is like, he should have been cut from the film. No, he's not doing anything else different than what like Olivia Wilde's doing, or what Nick Kroller's doing, or what Gemma Chan is doing. And I've discovered I'm quite controversial in saying this. I think Chris Pine was the worst part in this film, and a lot,
Okay.
which I'm fine. I am being different in that because when I'm hearing reviews about this, people are going like, Florence Pugh, Chris Pine, they're the two saving graces in this. I'm like, did we see the same thing?
Oh,
here?
really?
I feel like
not a
it's.
fan of Chris Pine in this.
I think it doesn't help that his character is trash, and
okay.
like because he's just generic evil.
Mm.
It's like the first shot you see him, it's like, oh, he's the bad guy.
Yeah.
Like he's the first shot we see him, he's like lurking in like a staircase with sunglasses on. I'm like, you're the bad guy.
Right. So you're the villain. Yeah.
And then he gave like a little like right, because this is the thing, right? It's not. This film starts off and it makes you think like, right, and Mark Kermode said it quite well actually. He was like, right, this film, you're watching it and he goes, right, this could be one of 5 things what this is. And like what the world is, like what we are doing. I'm like, this could be one of 5 things. Okay. And most of the film, again, it's a bit over 2 hours, this film. And most of the film is Florence Pugh being like, what's happening? Blah. And so the structure of the film is Florence Pugh is just doing something. She's doing chores. She's in a ballet class. She's talking to friends. She's doing everyday things. And then some it's just not quite right, and then we go into a really trippy sequence of really like fancily edited things and stuff.
Okay.
And then it goes a bit, woo, and then she snaps out of it, and then she's in a place where she wasn't where she first started, and
Okay.
then repeat,
Rinse and repeat.
and then
Alright.
and then repeat. It's that until we
Yeah.
get to the third act,
Mm.
and then it decides to reveal what it is.
Yeah, well, see, this is what I read about, which I'm like, so okay, so again, if you really genuinely care, skip ahead, spoilers or whatever. It's a simulation, right?
Yes, which was one of the things.
That's fucking boring.
Yes, it is. Which this is what I mean. I'm thinking to myself, right? This is either a village situation where it's a world outside of the real world, and these people are being trapped in. It's either that we're in the 50s and it's weird time traveling thing or whatever, or it's a simulation, and it's a simulation.
Which is probably the most boring of the three options.
It's so dull, man.
Yeah.
It's so dull. And then it becomes with me going, okay, then why? Then why is this a simulation? And the whole point of this is baffling. The film then decides to kind of become more of like it's a thing where men put women in.
Yeah, because isn't Harry Styles upset that he hasn't got a job and Florence Pugh is providing for the family when he wants to be the one that is, and so he puts her in a simulation where she's quote unquote in her place. Is that the?
That's what they want. That's basically the point. What ends up right? This is the logic. This is the law and the world and the actual and the exact situation that they established in this. We discover it's a simulation. Right?
Yeah.
So then we get a flash to the real world, a bit of a flashback.
Oh my god.
To that. And Florence Pugh is a doctor, not a nurse, a doctor.
Okay.
And she has to work more shifts because now she's the breadwinner of the house. She's the only one working.
Okay.
And all that stuff. And her boyfriend, Jack, played by Harry Styles, is not working. And so they go back to the flat, blah, whatever. And we then find out, which Lewis had to remind me about this, they broke up.
Oh, right.
And then we cut to Florence Pugh led on the bed with her eyes like clockwork oranged. This is what the device is. It's basically like a clockwork orange type of thing that keeps like just imagining what she's seeing type of thing. And we see Harry Styles walk back into a flat. Again, they make Harry Styles ugly by giving him long hair and a bit of a beard and glasses. Ooh! First of all, I feel attacked with that.
Yeah.
Disgusting. First
Rude.
of all. But also, it's not like he was hideous. It's just Harry Styles, but just
it's
a
just
little
Harry
bit
Styles
unkempt.
with long hair.
Just a bit unkempt. That's just what that is. So then we see him walking in, and he has to like moisten Florence Pugh's lips because they dry out, and then he joins her in the simulation. Because how this system works is because we see like all the wives, they're in the house, whatever, and then all the husbands go out to work, and they and we never find out what their work is. What that is, when they go out to work, they're leaving the simulation so they can work in the real world to afford to paying for this.
Right.
That's what that is. So then all Harry Styles, they come back from work by just entering the simulation again.
So
the point that I have with this is that like, why are they doing this? So all that the men are experiencing with this nice utopian 50s world.
Yeah.
So is this, they wake up next to their missus that they've brainwashed to be trapped in here.
Yeah.
They have breakfast that they made, and then they leave the simulation for the rest of the day. They come back into the simulation to come back home, have dinner that their wives made, have sex,
right,
have a bit of a drink, and then go back to sleep. They're not getting anything out of it. So then my point is, why is Harry Styles' character Jack, who has got his ex, I want to remind that it's not like his current girlfriend. So what? We assumed he drug raped her. Like you
I
just
guess.
so at that point you broke up, move on, mate. Whatever. Don't just forget about it. Whatever. Why is
Yeah.
he going to all the trouble to look after this woman when he's not getting anything out of anything? He's not like getting like
Yeah.
the nice utopian world.
And also, if he's in the simulation, yeah, and he's having a nice home cooked meal that his wife's done for him, and he gets to have sex or whatever, but that's a simulated meal and
Yes.
and simulated sex, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So what? So it's not so it's not. But also, if you're saying that so they leave the simulation every day to
Yes.
work in the real world to get money to pay for the system, right?
Yes. So it's
And-
they're on
and-
they're on a subscription basis from the sounds of things.
And so the initial issue of why he got upset is because his wife was working more and bringing more money home than him.
Yeah.
But now he's trapped his wife in a simulation. Well, he's got his ex-girlfriend in a simulation, and is paying for it by going to work.
It's like, mate, what's
But you've got a job now, so what's the issue?
and
You
he's
fucking idiots.
and also she's his ex, but
Yeah.
also everyone else in this. It's not just Harry Styles. It's literally all the blokes in the simulation. So Nick Kroll,
Right, so Nick Kroll.
Nick Kroll is a real guy who goes
yeah.
out and whatnot and pays to look after Olivia Wilde, who's in her thing.
Oh,
Chris
God,
Pine
yeah.
is the guy who runs this.
Okay.
So he's the evil overlord. But the way
Okay.
that it makes out is that it looks like at first, the way he's presented, it's like, oh, is he like a Steve Jobsy type of businessman? And this is his new this is a business
Yeah.
thing. But the way it's perceived in the real world, it makes it look like some sort of shady back alley deal. Like, yeah, here's a simulation, mate. Here, take this. So
some weird back market thing.
first of all, we never see Chris Pine in the real world. We never see. So we don't
Oh.
know. We don't know. We don't know anything.
Again, very uninteresting to
So
not see. that.
whatever. And the film is so, and I said this to Lewis. I was like, the film felt like it tried to be Get Out for feminism, but without any of the nuance.
Yeah, well, that's
Which-
what it sounds like. To be
Which
honest.
again, I'm not ragging on it, being like it's a feminist. It just felt really like that's your point.
Yeah.
That's the, and also what's even more baffling is like it ends up like Florence Pugh, who's called Alice. Do you get it? Because Alice through the looking glass.
Like, yeah,
and also
yeah.
and also Olivia Wilde, her best mate's called Bunny in the film.
Oh,
Do you-
very good.
do you
and,
get it?
And I don't know, Jack. Something to do with the Queen of Hearts, maybe. I don't know.
And the beanstalk, I don't know.
Some card related connection. I don't know.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, Jack's. Yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah.
But then so Alice smashes Jack over there with a glass, kills him. We then cut Harry Styles in the real world, like spaz out in his eyes. Olivia Wilde
Okay.
then tries. Olivia Wilde's then explaining to us like, once men die in the simulation, they die in the real world. You need to go. You need to go. I'm like, hang on.
How do you know that?
She knows all of this as well, and she chooses
Right.
to live in the simulation because in this world her children are alive. A lot more,
Okay, well, that's
a
interesting.
much more fascinating story than
Yeah,
anything.
that's very interesting as opposed to
much-
whatever the hell else is going on.
Because do you remember that like one of the many interesting plots in Inception where like this is why
Yeah,
just why not make that the point?
yeah.
Why not make that the but then to which then I go, right, so men when they die in the simulation, they die in the real world. Why would they even do it? And also, second of all, why even program that?
Yeah.
Why
But when they say men die if they die in the simulation, does that mean that the women also die if they die in the simulation?
no men?
What?
Men die. Only men.
How does that work? Surely it's just like, you know, whoever's in the simulation, if they die in the simulation, it short circuits the brain or something. So
It specifically said when men die, they die in the simulation. They die in the real world. Not when someone dies in the
Yeah.
simulation. When men die, they die in the real world.
that's very confusing.
And it also feels like we need a reason because then the whole point of that. This is within the last 10 minutes, by the way.
Yeah.
What I'm saying. So
Well, that's exciting.
we need a big reason for like everything to kick off.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh, how? Well, Harry Styles dies. Well, it's a simulation. You can wake up. They die in the real world as well. Oh, okay,
Okay.
yeah, we'll just write that. But so then what ends up happening? Florence Pugh walks out with blood all over. Nick Crawler's like, Alice, whose blood is that? Jack? Where's Jack?
Okay.
Alice, what? Wait a minute. Street lights start exploding for
Right.
no reason. Again, this isn't a simulation that's just in Alice's head. This is
Yeah, in multiple people's heads.
yes. This is
Okay.
almost like this. Like if we all got plunked into The Sims. This is a big
Okay.
This is a big MMO, basically.
Right.
This is a life simulator MMO, is what it is,
Hmm.
essentially. So lights start exploding, then all the women are starting like, wait, what? And then it's almost like all the women start realizing what's going on. It's like, what? No, hang on. And then
So is it kind of are they saying it's a thing of Alice killing Jack is a thing of like the women realize that they don't have to be subservient to the men, and so it just
think-
kind of crumbles the whole thing. Is that
I
the
think that's what
implication?
I think that's the whole point. But also it's
Right.
and then it ends up being a big thing where like a load of men in red jackets start running out of round corners.
All right.
Which at that
Good.
point, me and Lewis start just howling because
Like Squid Game kind of guys.
like no, they weren't like they didn't have masks on. So imagine like the Michael Myers jump. So imagine the Us jumpsuits.
Okay, yeah.
So
Just people
no,
wearing them.
so not masked, and they kind of
Just-
like run straight face. They just kind of like,
Okay.
and I'm
fine.
like, it's not like they're like, "Argh," they're just like just like I'm like. So me and Lewis just laughing at this point. It's like Jesus
Yeah.
Christ. This is the only reason why this is in there, so we can then have Florence Pugh have a car chase,
All right.
and a
Good.
big- and a
Fantastic.
big blow up moment, and then she ends up going to the big thing that I don't know, the big headquarters or whatever. All the
Right.
all the men in red jumpsuits are running up the hills again. Funny, really, just
Yeah,
a really funny
Very good
image.
stuff.
Something ends up happening. She does a thing. We cut to black. We hear her go, insinuating she woke up in the real world.
Okay.
And then we go to credits. To which then Olivia Wilde also said, they're going to come for you in the real world. As well.
Don't do a sequel.
Well, they're not going to.
Well, yeah,
not
yeah,
going
but
to.
everyone hated this, and I imagine it hasn't made. Well, it probably has made a lot of money.
It's
compared to
no,
this.
no, it has. It's actually
Yeah.
it's actually doing really well at the box office. But it's a
God
film not
damn
but,
it.
but it's a film not designed for a sequel. So
Yeah.
then I'm like, right, she woke up, but she's tied to the bed, and people are coming after her. She's not
Yeah.
safe.
Yeah, no, she's
This
not.
is-
She's not good.
She's waking up with her eyes locked open, tied in the
Yeah.
bed with the corpse of her ex next to her, and someone's going to come bursting down the door and kill her. Basically,
Well, that's why I mean, like while she's doing this car chase situation, I imagine Chris Pine, leader of the company, has already started sending his men over because he'll.
Chris Pine gets stabbed by his wife, played by Gemma Chan, and this is exactly, which is bizarre because Gemma Chan was all behind Chris Pine, like all behind him.
Very good.
Chris Pine, they find out Jack's died. They're
Right.
not on the same. I don't know how. I don't know.
Right. Okay.
How. And then Chris Pine turns around. Gemma Chan stabs him, and she goes, "It's my turn now."
Oh, as in, so she's taking over the. But then what? But then is that not?
Girl power, I guess. I don't know.
But is that not the?
I don't know.
is that not the opposite of the point of the simulation? Shouldn't she be killing him to like end the whole thing, not take it over?
We assume that it's like, now it's my turn to do it all. Mwah. It's like, why?
But why though?
Yeah, but
Okay.
why?
All right. I mean, fine. Do what you want, I guess.
It's got.
I mean, I'm gonna fucking see it, aren't I? I'm
Just-
gonna have to see it at some point out of morbid curiosity.
And Reese, I mentioned this in the chat with me, you, Reese, and Anna. And Reese went like,
Yeah.
"Oh, it's an instance where the drama was more entertaining." I was like, honestly, no. Like,
Yeah.
Nothing around
no-
this was like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
spicy. It's it's drama stuff that isn't that dramatic.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, have you heard the "Don't Worry, Darling" drama? What drama? Oh, that
Harry Styles might have spit on Chris Pine or something.
or like, oh, Shia LaBeouf got sacked, but did he get sacked? He left on his own accord. Here's proof of Olivia Wilde trying to keep Shia LaBeouf. Right, okay. Oh,
Yeah.
Florence Pugh is not acknowledging the film. Right,
All right. She clearly had a
Okay.
bad time when she was filming it, and that's fine, isn't it?
It's whatever. I don't.
Yeah.
But it's not like it's a rarity. You know what I mean?
No, I imagine it happens. I mean,
and-
obviously, it doesn't happen as publicly as this one did. But
No, and I will admit as well, and again, it's because Harry Styles is in it and he's interesting tabloid fodder.
yeah,
So, and I will say, right, again, is there any hope for Harry Styles as an actor? Sure, I don't know, but I'm not opposed to him continuing acting.
Yeah,
like,
do what you want, man.
Like this film didn't make me go, ugh.
yeah,
But it's not
never
like
do that again.
But I'm not like, wow. It's like there's moments. It's like I went to Lewis. I said Angus. It's like he kind of did better when he was being a bit more over the top.
Oh, okay.
But like when he was just being normal, he was so wooden and so plain. He was just so.
right.
So I'm like, oh, okay. And then, but when he's shouting and screaming and stuff, I was like, okay, there's something there. But I watched Carsten Rundquist's review on the film, and he said it best in the sense of like, it almost looked like Harry Styles watched all those like best acting of all time compilations, and he just kind of like took those, but without any of the new. Like, there's a moment where, and I agree with this. There's a moment of where Florence Pugh gets taken away by all these men in red coats in a car, and then from being in the passenger seat, and then Harry Styles is in the driver's seat. And he's like, I'm sorry. And then he does like the thing where, like where people kick off in a car and they like bang on the steering wheel and they're like, ah! Like he does, he does that. He does
Right, brilliant. He gives it a good go, does he?
He's being powerful.
Yeah, I guess.
But it's just like he slams the car wheel and he goes, ah! It's just like, what are we doing?
I guarantee it'll be a Razzie nomination.
Yeah, and it shouldn't be, but the Razzies are what they are.
For the sake of
yeah.
the social media aspect of it, it probably will be.
And there's a few other little bits and pieces I want to say as well before moving on from it. With Don't Worry, Darling specifically, is that obviously we talked about how Olivia Wilde randomly made this film a very try to be very talking about the sex scenes, and she wants to make it a very sex positive film, and she wants to do sex scenes right. And it's a very sexy film, and that, and to which Florence Pugh was like, can the conversation be about my performance, not who I'm having sex with? There's that, and also to the point of where that got so blown out in the media that a few months ago when we mentioned it, around when me and Lewis mentioned it, and Victoria went, "Is that sex film?" And then we then asked if she wanted to come and see it with us the day before we went to see the film. She went, "Well, I don't want to go and watch a porno, Lewis." So
brilliant.
So that was. And I will say, absolutely useless way of promoting the film.
Really?
The film. First of all, the film's a 15 rated film, so it's not. So it can only go so far, is all I'm saying. And there's that one scene. Right. So in the first act, there's the one scene where Harry Styles eats out Florence Pugh. They do a motion where the camera goes, it's a nice little camera motion where it goes all the way around the table, and there's a bird's eye view of Florence Pugh hitting chairs and pots and pans off the table because he's clearly because he's doing such a good job.
And good on you.
And I'm not one to judge. So there's there's that scene. They're all fully clothed. I want to say that as well.
Right, brilliant.
So there's that scene, and then there's a scene where they're at the party at Chris Pine's house, and they end up going in Chris Pine's bedroom, and Harry Styles starts shagging Florence Pugh on a set of drawers, again fully clothed, I want to add.
Right.
If you want, in the sense of Florence Pugh sat on the drawers, I'd never thought I would have Florence Pugh sat on the drawers. Harry Styles has stood up. There you go, type of thing. And then there's the one moment where they're going at it, and within this scene, Chris Pine walks in and just watches it, and then Florence Pugh looks and sees he's in the room, and as opposed to going, Jack, your boss is right there. She just kind of looks at him and lets it keep happening, and then Chris Pine's kind of and then just walks back out.
Bizarre.
And that's the total sex scenes in this film.
Oh, okay. I mean, well, that's weird.
So considering Olivia Wilde tried to make this a very sex positive film, there's not
There's not a lot of sex going on.
Which I'm not saying that like I wanted more sex in this.
Yeah,
it's like,
well,
it's
yeah,
like
but-
you hyped it up, man, of being a
Yeah, but
parody.
don't,
It's
yeah,
like,
well, also don't market it like that. That's
what
weird.
I mean. It's weird. Exactly. It's like right. There's that, and also I watched an interview with Olivia Wilde.
Mm.
It was at Colbert. Yeah, Colbert.
Yeah.
I watched her interview with her, which I want to say as well. I liked the idea of Olivia Wilde as a director. I really liked Booksmart, and I
really do not.
I really
But-
liked. I really enjoyed Booksmart, and I liked the short film she did with Margaret Qualley, and the vibe that I got from her with both Booksmart and this short film that she did was in my head. I'm like, oh, I can see a lot of parallels with Spike Jonze in her visual style. So in my head, I'm like, okay, cool. Let's see what she does. I'm still all for Olivia Wilde being like seeing what she does directing wise.
Yeah.
She just shouldn't be doing Jordan Peele type thrillers because she's not good at it.
Yeah.
But what's interesting to me is that when watching her interview with this, because she was very vocal about the fact that she loved doing the car chase scene. She loves doing
Oh, yeah.
action-based scenes, and she says, "Oh, let me do Fast and Furious, whatever. That'll be great. I would love to do that." I'm like, she seems to just,
God.
but which also that'll be so funny if I see Olivia Wilde directing Fast and Furious 11, and then,
Oh God.
come back. That's Olivia. Come with the family.
Come with the come be a part of the
The
family.
So there's that, and then so the one thing, and that's one moment of the film that's really unnecessary. So, what I'm scared about Olivia Wilde is that she's all there just to do big spectacle and nothing else.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my whole shtick on Don't Worry, Darling. It's not good.
Fair.
It's not a film that. It's also not a film that deserves the amount of quote outrage.
Yeah.
The drama is really nothing, and the film was also really nothing.
Yeah.
And it tried to be. I said it tried to be. It thought it was intelligent, but once it got to the twist, I'm like, right,
Yeah.
I get it.
I mean,
And
obviously.
right, so whatever. It was like Lewis went like it was as if Olivia Wilde really wanted to do an A24 film, and A24 went, that wasn't. No, you missed the point.
yeah.
And then she, no, do you know? Because there's the final point.
Yeah, go on.
Oh, will it spoil? I'm not going to say specifics because it will spoil. Not Don't Worry, Darling. It will spoil my film that isn't totally
okay.
public yet.
Yeah.
But they do a moment at the very end,
Yeah.
where I'll explain it like when we stop recording. But they do a moment in Don't Worry, Darling. That is very similar to how I ended Love Bethany.
Oh.
And like a certain like section, I'm like, and it was the one time I've ever been able to do this. And when
Yeah.
I went to Lewis, I went, I'm not being funny, Lewis. I did that better. And it's been the only time I've ever felt like I could say that as a filmmaker, where like as someone who makes films, I'm always very cautious about trashing films because like, well, you try to do it better.
Yeah.
And I did.
Oh, okay.
So-
Very curious about that.
and so that's what I'll leave off with. If you're
Oh.
even more curious, come to ARC on October 26th to see Love Bethany.
Yeah,
If
there you
you're
go.
able to. I don't know the ticket information on that, but there you go.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what have I been watching? Thing is, I this is usually the point in the show where I would do the what's Rob been watching this week on the Telebox segment, but I haven't watched anything because I've been at work. I've had no time to do anything. So I get home from work at like 7:30, and then I've got to be I have my tea. And then I've got to be asleep again by about 9:30, 10ish, or I'm not going to get up at 5 the next morning to get the train. So I have barely watched anything. But what I will say I've watched, and I'm going to give you a little quiz right now, Oscar.
Okay.
This is after seeing She-Hulk's latest episode.
Oh yeah.
So I'm an episode behind on Rings of Power, and I'm an episode behind on House of the Dragon. I'll catch up at the weekend, I imagine. And I'm like fucking 3 episodes behind on Andor. I've watched the first episode. It seems pretty good, actually.
Right.
Weirdly good. But
Gary said to me he prefers it more than Kenobi. Is what he
Yeah,
said.
it was it was definitely better than Kenobi. But I'll watch more of that and report back next week. So get excited for that. But I watched the latest episode of She-Hulk, Oscar. Right now, tell me if any of this sounds familiar to you, sir. Right? It's a show that is trying to explore the idea of being a woman in the 21st century, right? Through the eyes of a female protagonist who talks directly to the audience. And for the second to last episode of the season, they decided to do an episode where that character goes to a like a wellness retreat and discovers a little bit about themselves and has a little bit of a breakdown and a bit of a breakthrough around about understanding themselves. Now, does that sound very familiar to you to the second to last episode of Fleabag season 1? Because like that is exactly what the fuck it is. It's that, but not good. Imagine that, but everything that makes Fleabag amazing is stripped away, and instead you've got a shit CGI green woman. What more could you want, eh? You know, and you've got Tim Roth, and it's good to see him, I suppose. But I mean, Christ.
I've never seen She-Hulk. I just want to say it's more so of a curiosity point of view.
Yeah.
If you're this far deep in and not enjoying it,
because I have to. It's basically my job at this point to watch this.
Okay, yeah, you have to. That's a good point. Okay, never mind. Because I was going to say, like, isn't this show clearly made for a very specific audience? And
but I don't think it's even good for them.
Right.
Like, I think what they're trying to go for is a female audience, and I think they're trying to be relatable in showing the struggles of being a woman nowadays and all that kind of stuff. But it's not even doing that well.
But from what it's not even that. I thought like it tried to be more like, you know, like trash comedy telly. You know, like how like where it's like where it's like mind-numbingly like nothing, that it's literally for someone just to go, let me just stick that on so I don't need a focus.
Well, there's bits of that as a part of it, yeah.
Like a bit Big Bang Theory-esque. Is it more so being that audience?
No, because it's not even that. It's not as disposable as something like that.
Right, okay.
And it's not as episodic as something like that. There's still a plot going through, but it's just, see, for me, what's annoying me about it is that all of the pieces are there. So that what's going on is that she becomes She-Hulk, and when she's just Jennifer Walters, she is kind of overlooked and whatever, and she's never been the most attractive or the most confident person in the world, and well, even though she is incredibly attractive, and it's bizarre to me that the show keeps treating it like she isn't, but whatever. Anyway.
I heard opposite. Oh, or is it more of a thing where people is it people fetishizing She-Hulk? And then,
yes, yeah, right, people yeah. So, but then she becomes She-Hulk, and people treat her differently, and she's got this big, strong, athletic body and this amazing hair. And people talk to her differently, and people respect her differently, and she gains this other kind of confidence. But then she has a kind of crisis of faith as to, well, why don't people like me as I am, as opposed to being like, which is all of the pieces are there to explore femininity and how people treat women based on appearance. It's all there, but then they go, she's twerking with Megan Thee Stallion, and it's like, all right, but like, what the fuck are we doing? What is this? So this latest episode was like, she met this guy last week whose general character was, he seems nice. One of those kind of characters, who seemed to like her as she was, as opposed to being like She-Hulk. And then in this episode, they go on a few dates together, and it turns out, and then they sleep together, and then he doesn't reply to her text for like 3 days, and she's like, "What the hell's going on?" Then fucking Tim Roth he might have broken his parole, so they have to go and see. She bailed him out on parole earlier in the season. Don't worry about it, right? he now runs. You know how he was Abomination in Incredible Hulk.
Yeah.
He now runs a wellness retreat for bad guys to like talk about their anger or whatever and become better guys or whatever, which is very funny. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like that's not fucking hilarious because it is. So she has to go up there, and then her car gets broken through various mishaps, including a half bull, half man called Man Bull.
Right.
It's fine. And she ends up. She keeps checking her phone to see if this Josh guy's replied, and he hasn't, and blah 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 blah. And then she comes clean to everyone. She's part of this wellness group, and they're doing like a therapy session sort of thing, like a group sharing session. And then she kind of blurts everything out, and then they go like, "You're amazing, just as you, Jen. You don't need to be She-Hulk or whatever." And she realizes that about herself, and she can be loved, and whatever.
Yeah.
We've got 2 episodes left. What are we doing? Also, bear in mind, can I say, I've been waiting. They teased the appearance of Daredevil in the final scene of episode 5. We've now finished episode 7, and he's yet to show up. Where the fuck is he?
It's the ending, probably.
It's the only reason I'm watching this fucking show is to see Daredevil show up. All right, I'm sick of it, and I'm trying to like it. I like the She-Hulk character. I think she's great. I think Tatiana Maslany is very good in the role.
I heard she's not the thing to do. What a common theme this episode is. It's like, don't like
she's
the
not
thing,
the issue.
Don't like the thing, but the lead actress is actually really good.
Yeah, she's great, but the writing and direction, the direction. They're doing that thing where they get comedic actors and they go, just riff. We'll do one take where we do the script and then just riff and we'll edit around it.
The Paul Feig directing style.
Yes, and it means that there's no continuity between takes, so the editing is fucked. It doesn't make any sense because they've clearly gone off on a tangent in a take, and the director's gone, I like that, can you splice that in? And it's like, yeah, but for continuity, and she's like, oh, no, but it's funny. It's like, yeah, but it does, the edit, as an editor, it fucking freaks me out. I don't like it. I hate it. I hate the idea of ever being in a room with a director like that. It would stress me out. So yeah, overall it remains not good, and hopefully next week Daredevil will show up. I don't know. I feel like I'm saying that every day. Every week I go, it's still not very good, and I hope Daredevil shows up next week. I don't know.
Well, next week, correct me if I'm wrong, Robbie.
Yes.
But apart from, I'll share my thoughts on Blonde next week.
Yes.
But correct me if I'm wrong, isn't Werewolf by Night also next week?
Oh, that's a distinct possibility. Yeah, it's the 4th, isn't it?
The 4th of October, is it?
I think, which is, I'll check now. Give me a goddamn minute, will you? Just get off my goddamn back, Oscar. Jesus Christ.
But I also know for a fact as well, the new Mike Flanagan show, The Midnight Club, is the 7th. Oh, so we won't be talking about that then. Realistically, we won't be talking about that because by the time because that's the Friday, we won't be talking about that then.
Werewolf by Night is also the 7th, which is Friday. So it'll be the week after. We'll talk about that.
Yeah, Blonde will be next week's discussion on my end, unless if you also watch that as well.
Yeah, I might do.
You'll see.
We'll see.
But I'll be talking about Blonde next week. But that's the intermission section, I think.
Oh wait, no, last bit before we go into the Letterboxd reviews. And this, I'm gonna briefly say this for anyone who's missed the news somehow. I don't know how the fuck you would have missed this. Hugh Jackman's back as Wolverine.
Yeah,
Great.
Right. I'll
buzzing.
Yeah. Right. Here's how I put it. Hang on, let me see if I can find the exact message that I sent.
Okay.
First of all, I found out when I was a little bit tipsy that both Reese told us this, Lewis told me this, and then Angus told me this. And so I was just a bit like, oh, okay, right. The thing that I said to I said this to Lewis.
Yes.
Yesterday, I went. Where's it at? Hang on, let me find it. If I can't find it right off the bat, I'll just say what I. Okay, yeah, here it is. I said, I'm still unsure about Hugh Jackman coming back, and then I went. this is my analogy of the situation. I went, all I'm saying is Shawn Michaels had an amazing retirement in 2010, and then he came back to wrestle in Saudi Arabia, and it all went to shit. So,
well, he's only coming back for this one. Cheddar. But no, but also...
Shawn Michaels came back for one.
I don't even think it is for the money, though. Because A, he loves Kevin Feige, and he wants to work with Kevin Feige. And he's been talking about wanting to... If there was one thing he wanted to do with Wolverine, it was do it in the MCU at least once.
Okay.
So he's getting that. And also, him and Ryan Reynolds are like fucking best mates.
I like the idea. I like the general idea. But I'm also terrified in the sense of, like, I had one reason to rewatch Logan. Because I wasn't fussed on the film anyway. I had one reason to rewatch it was like, it's Hugh Jackman's last hour as Wolverine. I'll watch it, see if I can try and be emotional. Now I can't. Now I have. Now I have no reason to rewatch Logan because I don't give a shit about it.
Well, no, because no, incorrect. Incorrect.
I don't care about it.
You can still watch Logan and get upset because it's the end of that character. Him
but
coming
it's
back.
Not. He's back.
No, he's not back. He's
back in this film. He's coming back as Wolverine.
I know he's coming back, but the character dies in that film and is dead. They said, when they announced this, they have said, Logan takes place in 2029. We are not touching that.
Right. But also, but the whole point of that was like, I'm trying to get emotional in real life that Hugh Jackman as Wolverine is gone. That's the whole point.
But it was never gonna be. He would always have fucking come back to do some shit. There is no reality in which that was the last thing he did. No reality in which that happened.
You see, I just I had faith in Hugh Jackman had pride, but here we are.
He still does have pride. You can bring him back for a fun fucking Deadpool movie. And if anything, I mean, I still would have preferred my idea, which I floated a few weeks ago. I don't know if anybody remembers this, when I said that I would have liked them to bring Hugh Jackman in, but it's just the actor Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
he's just playing himself.
See, I would have liked that.
Yeah, he's not even playing Wolverine. He's just playing Hugh Jackman, and Deadpool's just annoying him and trying to convince him that he is Wolverine, and he's got no idea what the fuck he's talking about.
I could have got on board with that.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I hope
Sean Levy doesn't give me hope as well with directing it.
Well, he does a lot of Stranger Things, and that's very good. I didn't like Free Guy or
going from TV to films. Not the same. Not the same.
Yeah.
It's
Well, I mean, for
I'll
me,
see.
my hope now and my hot prediction, if somebody clip this and keep it forever, or until the fucking movie comes out, I guess. I hope that it's a Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe situation.
Cool.
There was a comic where he just killed everybody. I hope it's just that, but for the Fox X-Men universe. I hope it's just that. He just goes and fucking kills everybody. And
That'd be cool.
And Hugh Jackman is with him for whatever reason. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I'm excited about this. I think it'll be good. I have faith that it's going to be pretty good. But that's the end of the intermission, I think.
Go on. Brief, because you reminded me of something. Speaking of retiring and how someone should have retired. Roger Federer retired from tennis.
Oh, boy, did he!
It was my number one, my main guy, and I stayed up because Andy Murray took too fucking long to finish his game.
It's not like him.
Yeah, that's tennis. Like no one's on schedule. No one's on schedule with these things. They're like, oh no, it'll go about 2 hours. It's like they're not gonna just only go 2 hours, you idiots. So
you fucking dummy.
So the retirement matches for Nadal, the final for Nadal, Federer and Nadal, teaming again, absolute dream team, and it looked like he was going to win, and he was very close to it. Federer was serving the match point, and then bloody Francis Tiafoe, who just comes out of nowhere and just goes boink, no, and then
unbelievable.
And then we go to a tie break, and then he loses, and then to which everyone in the O2 arena just goes, oh.
Okay.
And then we get a really nice emotional farewell from Roger Federer. He speaks about it, and then randomly they go, and now Ellie Goulding. I'm like, what? And then we
Sure,
get two back-to-back songs of Eddie Goulding performing live while Roger Federer is crying next to Rafael Nadal. and I'm like, what do we do? Hang on. It's so bizarre. And we never once hear from the winners as well. We never once hear from the Jack Sock and Francis Tiafoe who won the match. It's like they almost were prepared. It was almost like they really wanted Roger Federer to win. And it was like, oh, he lost. Now let's play a little video package on Roger Federer.
Jesus Christ.
To me, I'm an old school guy. I watch wrestling, and I always like when you retire on your back, and you retire losing. So it's like that didn't bother me or whatever. It's okay, cool, whatever.
Yeah.
But it just felt like they really prepped it for like, and once again, retiring, winning, Roger Federer. It's like no, he didn't.
No.
But yeah. It's
Jesus.
But I just want to mention the bizarre nature of just watching. Like I'm listening to a horrific live Ellie Goulding performance where Roger Federer is just crying with his wife, and I'm like,
I mean, good on you, Roger. Good innings.
I mean, it's just like I just couldn't like I couldn't. It was so bizarre to me, and also. Team Europe eventually lost the Laver Cup. Team World won the first time. And someone point out, like John McEnroe was dancing like a motherfucker, like a Team World. It was like, he did a little jiggle. It was funny. But it was just one of these things where it was like this is the very first time Team World has won the Laver Cup, and someone went, trust it be the very first time Team Europe has got the big four. So. They've got Nadal, Federer, Djokovic, Murray, all on Team Europe and Team World win.
Jesus Christ.
So
I mean, that's bad. That's a bad showing, isn't it?
That's a thing. But yeah, so
Christ.
Federer retired, sad time, but also he retired at 41 years of age. He's like, yeah, my knee's not going to keep coming up with this. So
yeah, that's fair.
And he played a really good game as well. It wasn't even like, oh, never mind. It's like he played really good doubles. But yeah, there you go.
Good on him.
My once every so often Oscar talks tennis.
Yeah.
That's been what's happening. But with that being said, Robbie, should we move over to the negative Letterboxd reviews?
Hell yeah, we should.
If you're unfamiliar with this segment, this is where we go to the social media site Letterboxd, where we go to the film that we've been talking about this episode, and we go to the negative reviews on that section. And sometimes there's some really funny ones.
I'm gonna predict a lot of comments about misogyny in this one.
I don't think we're gonna have a good week this one.
Okay.
We had it's just the ebbs and flows, isn't it? Last week was a banger.
Yeah.
Last week was an
Weirdly.
absolute banger. Mary Ploplin's had an umbrella.
Very, very good stuff.
But yeah, here we go. Half a star. Worst Billy Wilder movie I've ever watched because I always expect a good and entertaining movie when I see his name. Marilyn Monroe's acting was terrible. Brackets. She is beautiful and well dressed though. The way the main character was behaving was disgusting and gross. To be honest, I almost hated everything about this movie because it wasn't even entertaining. Such a waste of time. Well, I disagree about the Marilyn Monroe bit. Come on.
Yeah, but I mean, him being a bad bloke is kind of the point. I mean. I'm not saying
let me defend Sherman.
Good on him. But you know, it's kind of the point of the character that he's a stupid man.
Speaking of such, half a star. Fucking hell, I hate men.
Yeah, same. That's fair.
Yeah. Half a star. A dumb film with a smutty premise. A stupid protagonist with utterly fake narration. A zero plot. Total garbage. Rating F.
And this is why it's excellent. You just listed all the reasons why it's good. You just listed all the reasons it's funny. What do you want from me? I don't know.
It's just that one bit of him talking in the shower. It's like, this insane man. He's
absolutely lunatic of a man.
He's a lunatic. Get him in a cell.
Someone get him in a padded cell.
Half a star. Thoroughly unenjoyable and horny. Hated all the characters. Oh, sorry, that was my review for Don't Worry, Darling.
Very good. Ayo. Very good. So he snuck it in there. Oh, God. We have fun, don't we?
Yeah, we do. God, we need to.
Oh, Christ.
Half a star. Who knew a movie about an annoying and paranoid guy who spends most of his time alone at his house and talks to himself during the whole time was so unbearable? Yeah.
Yeah. That's why it's funny.
That's why
Everyone's
it's not good. That's why it's not-
Everyone's just listing the reasons it's funny.
Half a star. Marilyn captures the attention as always, but the tone, writing, and every other character are completely without value. Skip it. I mean, I think like it's not worth skipping because I think it's worth going through this like insanity that I went through. So do it.
Yeah.
Or I might just,
do it anyway. It's funny.
or I might just be a sociopath and I just might need.
Yeah.
It's like I need to feel any feeling, so let me just watch this mess.
Yeah.
By the time I'm getting to the end, and by the time Tom McKenzie gets murdered by one punch.
One punch Sherman.
What do you mean?
Oh god.
Half a star. This is so bad. Don't watch it. It's horrible. It's not funny.
Yeah, that's not a fun one.
Half a star. What a fucking nightmare. I know, right?
Well, that's the best one so far.
Do you remember that section in Vertigo where Jimmy Stewart's going through this really like he's the floating head with all colours and he's
Oh yeah.
like this really trippy sequence. I felt like that at like the last like 5 minutes of the film. Just imagine,
Oh,
just imagine
God.
this. Just imagine this. Just like just going green, red, flowing through nothing. That was like how I felt during the end of this film.
Oh Christ.
And finally, half a star. I saw Marilyn Monroe stand on top of the subway grates. Now what?
That's the best one.
That's the best.
Back,
one.
yeah, easily the best one of the day.
I don't think Hall of Famer.
No, I don't think
But-
Hall of Fame.
but-
I did enjoy what a fucking nightmare or whatever that person said.
Literally what
yeah.
a fucking nightmare.
Yeah. Yeah, good on him.
Yeah, no, but like that was like it was that and the fact of like no, but it's like yeah, we saw her stand on the grate, but we didn't even see the like you know that I'm
Yeah.
like I'm waiting for like okay, give me the shot,
And then
I'm
it didn't
like
happen.
it didn't happen.
Doesn't
What?
exist.
What?
Excuse me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
good
the
stuff.
that's the 7-year itch, and that's will lead us on to the outro of
Oh,
this. Good episode. I like this episode, Robbie.
A
This is a good
lovely
one.
episode. I do you know what I still can't get over is the Martin Scorsese cameo.
Yeah, Martin
As-
Scorsese phoned in.
Yeah.
So much has happened since then. That,
I
like,
know, but as if he just rang you up.
yeah,
What a crazy
exactly.
guy. I
Mental.
hope to hear more of him.
I mean,
to be
hopefully.
You know,
Uh,
or maybe you can get some of his fellow Hollywood stars to give us a ring. You know,
I don't know. I don't know
We'll
how
have to see.
I don't know how he got my number, but
Yeah, well.
but he did.
Must be doing something right.
We've actually got we got Tyler on the
We
technically.
did. Yeah.
Technically,
Forgot
that
about that. I did
te-
ring Tyler, didn't I?
technically that is the first like like that is the intermission debut for Tyler McCulloch and also by proxy Angus and I assume Kate,
Yeah, either Kate or Ellie. Maybe I don't know who it was.
Jess maybe I don't know,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Do you want to hear some before we do our outro and say goodbye to the lovely people? Would you like to hear some incredible news?
Go on.
Now You See Me 3 is in the works with the director of Venom attached to direct.
Wait, didn't he
what
do? Didn't he already do
What a
it?
time
though?
to be alive! I don't know.
Didn't Ruben Flesh already do? Oh no, I thought he did. Now You See Me 2. I thought he did that.
Oh, did he? I'll have a look. No, that was John M. Chu,
Oh, the guy who did Crazy Rich Asians.
possibly.
No, it is. It is the
Oh,
guy.
okay. And Louis.
Louis Leterrier or something like that.
He did the first one. So yeah, Ruben Fleischer's doing a movie that nobody wants, which is really on brand for him. Actually, he does a lot of that, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Good on him.
A few things before
Christ.
we go. Next week's film.
Oh yeah, what is it?
We're keeping on brand in terms of like, themed in terms of why we're talking about it.
Okay.
Netflix have got another film coming out, not late this month, but like later in October.
Yeah.
And we're going to be talking about the very first version of this film. Next week we are talking about the 1930 film, All Quiet on the Western Front.
Oh.
I discovered there's a new version of this that Netflix are releasing that looks really good actually. So
Oh, really?
I thought, why not fit in the oldie one, the very old one from 1930, a Best Picture winner as well, one of the early Best Picture winners as well. So we're going to be talking about All Quiet on the Western Front, the 1930, not 1979. I think it's 79. Can't remember.
Not 2022 with Daniel Bruhl.
Yeah, that's the new one. That's the new.
God, I fucking love that guy.
Yeah, that's the new Netflix one coming out late October. So,
Cool. All right, sweet.
So yeah, we're talking about All Quiet on the Western Front next week.
Very good.
I've seen it once, liked it, but I'll be interested in watching it again with a bit of an analytical viewpoint
stuff.
and that stuff. But also, I don't know if Lewis will have time to do anything this week, so we'll like. I won't. So Lewis, if you want to stick something in, do it now.
Yeah.
But if you didn't, then we'll just move on. What do you think of his diss track? I finally discovered what it was.
I have no idea what the hell was going on. I don't remember us ever organising to go to a fair together. I don't remember ever standing him up to go to the fair. If I did, I apologise profusely. This is my apology video.
I was going to say, have you got the receipts?
But I don't know. Well, this is what I mean. Where are the receipts, Lewis? I don't know what fair you're talking about or when we would have possibly gone to it. So apologies if there's something that I've misremembered. But do you have any details on this? What is this about?
It was I mean, I kind of want to just keep playing it. The fact of like, yeah, he really does think that you're like, like you did this like thing where you just stood him up. Yeah.
I think you've got me confused with someone else. I don't know. You know, maybe there's another podcast host that maybe did it and it wasn't me. I don't know. These are all possibilities.
That's Robbie's retort. Lewis again, I will say now.
Yeah.
If you have anything to retort to that, put it in now. But if not, we'll continue on. And I'm not going to give any more context because I feel like it's funnier just now being like, just building this narrative of Lewis being like, Robbie stood me up. I couldn't go to the fair, and Robbie being like, I'm not aware that this happened.
I don't know what he's talking about. So I mean, Hull Fair's coming up actually, end of October. So if he wants to come down, I'll happily take you to the fair. I'll get you a candy apple if that's what you want. You know, I'll get you some candy floss, maybe some brandy snap.
He doesn't drink, so.
But no, it's not. No, what the hell is wrong with you?
I know.
You son of a bitch. Oh, god damn it. And some nugget, which I call nugget, but apparently it's called nougat.
Oh, yeah, nougat. Yeah.
What a crock of shit that is. It's called nugget. What kind of? I mean, we can start that as a debate if you want. If anyone wants to turn coat on Team Robbie because I've called it nugget and not nougat, then I don't want you anyway, so you can go.
And speaking of such, let's just double check the poll.
Oh yeah, see if there's any.
Finally, let's just see. Right. Okay, it looks like we've upped it a little bit, wasn't it? Like,
okay.
It was like we're now on like 40. Oh no, it literally just went up as soon as I looked there. Literally.
Oh dear God.
It was 40% Team Oscar and 60% Team Robbie, and then the story reset. And then I opened the story back up, and now it's 44% Team Oscar, 56% Team Robbie.
Who have you got?
So let's have a look at
any new additions.
Right. Okay. So this is the official updated lists. Again, if you didn't vote, if you voted last time but you didn't vote this time, your position still stands.
Okay.
So right, we are looking now. We'll look at Team Oscar.
Yeah.
Right. So, of course, we still got Angus.
Yeah.
We still got Ellie.
Yeah.
We still got Kate.
Mm-hmm.
We still got Maddie.
Yeah.
We've got a guy called Rob Heselton, who I believe was first year film now second year film. So.
Oh. Well, fuck you, Rob.
Thank you, Rob. We know who Hutch has been talking highly about.
Yeah, I know, right? Dickhead.
We know what's the new DIY is all I'm saying.
God damn it.
And now on Team Robbie.
Oh yeah, okay.
Oh, and the other person on Team Oscar.
Yeah.
Is my mum. It's Geraldine Fitchett. So thank you.
Oh well. So, yeah. I mean, it's to be expected, but fuming.
We've got a so wholesome member now.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
that's
Like, you know what I mean? Like we've
your,
got.
your team's gonna get some real nice cakes and stuff now.
Oh, that's
God
what I mean.
fucking damn it.
Yeah, we've got. You know, like the random like mother in The Godfather that was just always about making
Yeah.
spaghetti and just tending to things. That's my mum now in this situation.
Fantastic.
Right. And now Teen Robbie.
Yeah.
So, I don't think anything. No, nothing's been changed.
Nothing's changed. Well, if nothing has changed, Oscar.
And hang on, and I want to say this. Let me just refresh it. Yeah, no, nothing's changed. All I'm saying is, Conor Dorian has looked at the poll, but he's still not
unbelievable.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So
you can just imagine him sat at home, can't you?
Just like,
I don't know, like I could.
just like this.
Just stressing out.
I don't know. I
well,
don't.
Here's a crazy update for you before we go. The teams lists are now equal. We have equal amounts on each team.
Should we read out the full teams? So
so
Team Oscar.
Team Oscar, Maddie Tweedale,
Yes.
Katie Oakey,
Yes.
Ellie Cutmore,
Yes.
Angus Moore, Finley Myers, Gary Bradshaw, Leo Bradley, Rob Heselton, Geraldine Fitchett.
Hell yeah.
Team Robbie, Sam Bambarino Clark, Lewis Hamilton, but the less impressive one.
He jumped. He jumped. He's the first de facto.
Yeah, unbelievable. Reese, who could be a mole, but we're not sure on that yet.
All I'm saying is, I want to say I'm not aware of this. If he is,
we'll keep an eye on him.
He's officially on Team Robbie, but all I'm saying is I don't know anything.
Yeah. Adam the Chin Store, girlfriend of the podcast Julia Colley, birthday boy Tyler McCulloch, Ryan Tomlinson, Aoife McKeon, Joseph Caslin. That's the team. That's the team sheets.
The people that I think we need to know.
Yeah.
We need to know Connor.
We do need to know Connor.
We need to know Anna Band.
Sorry, my sister's just coming in and waved at me.
Team Robbie, Team Oscar member. Is it team?
The other one.
Oh, right. The undecided team member.
Yeah, the gay one. Is what
okay.
This goes out on the internet. You know? I mean, yes, but she could listen. Is what I'm saying. Yeah, I love you. See you in a bit.
Brilliant.
It's good to see you anyway.
So yeah, we need to know Conor Dorian, and I just want to know Anna Band.
Yeah, out of curiosity, I'd love to get the lecturers involved. I'd love to learn what Lee's thinking.
Oh,
saying.
I feel like Lee's team Robbie.
Well, I messaged you say that, but I messaged him and said, "Hello, Lee. I've got to put some references down for my job. Would you like to be a reference?"
He said,
no. He went, "It should be a lecturer, really." Well, I think he replied like, "I can be if you want, but it looks better if it's a lecturer." And I was like, "Oh, all right, well, I'll talk to Hutch then." if you're gonna be like that, Lee.
So there you go.
God, I love that man.
Do you have a Robbo's weekly joke?
Oh, I can do a Robbo's weekly joke if you want. Yeah.
Let's sign it out with this, with a Robbo's weekly joke.
We'll do a Robbo's weekly joke. Let me think of a good one. I did the did I do the splits one?
Yes, you did.
Okay. So this week will be I went into my local video shop and I said, "Can I borrow Batman Forever?" And he said, "No, you've got to give it back next Thursday." Anyway, thanks for listening, everyone.
I never know how I hate, but also love at the same time that when it goes to Robbo's weekly joke, is a unbelievably close to the microphone.
Yeah, it is. Probably, I want it to be really clipping.
It's going to get to the point where it's going to be borderline ASMR.
Yeah, which is the aim, really.
Well, we have an ASMR subsection on the podcast.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys. Thank you all for watching and listening. Jesus Christ, I didn't think this would be as long as it was, but here we are.
Right?
We've had an eventful one. We have,
yeah. Martin Scorsese.
We have Martin Scorsese. We've further established the teams.
Yeah.
We talked about the film for the first time that you liked that I didn't like.
Yeah.
We went through the Don't Worry Darling nonsense. I managed to talk a bit about a film that I did like, which was After Yang. You brought me up to speed on She-Hulk.
Yeah, a show that continues to be bad.
we read the negative Letterboxd reviews and we got Robert's joke. So there you go.
What more could you want?
Excuse me. And next week, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be on All Quiet on the Western Front, 1930. Before we head off, I realised I didn't say this as well. Obviously, links in the description below for Instagram and Letterboxd. So if you want to see updates, there's that. But also to wind it up as well. I'm aware that we didn't get to it instantly, but also I want to say there's obviously still mental health links in the description below. If you need any help, there's links in there to be the first step towards your help. And with that being said, we'll sign off. And thank you all for watching / listening. We'll see you next week. And sign us off, Robbie.
Ta-ra!